If your dad beat the kid to death, did he beat you?
Sometimes, yeah.
Like, how hard would he beat you?
Do you want me to show you?
Yeah.
On you? I didn't tickle when he did it.
Do you need like a stick to show me, or like, you mean like having a baby labor?
Yeah.
I don't know what that feels like.
How come?
Am I supposed to know what that feels like?
Well, they have those like labor stimulators. You never wanted to try and say, what did my mom go through?
No.
Why not?
You're saying, do I want to try it?
Yeah. Yeah, but you say you don't follow your dad anymore.
No.
So where's your tattoo?
Oh my god. So if I don't have a tattoo, does that mean I follow my dad still?
On some stuff, it sounds like.
Would you rather a Kingston brain or an FLDS brain? Yeah.
I guess, do you swear on your podcast or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should swear on my podcast.
Why?
I'm just kidding. Welcome, everybody. This is the Jade and Just podcast. Today, I have Michelle Michaels with me, who came from the Kingston group or the Order. Michelle, if you want to introduce yourself and tell everybody anything you want them to know about you.
I am Michelle Michaels. I was born and raised in the Kingston polygamous group. My dad is Jesse. He's the leader's younger brother. And my mom is his niece. My dad has like over 200 kids, and then my mom has 12 kids. So I'm the fifth of 12 from my mom, and then the 51st of like over 200. So
Jesse, remind me who that is, because I know we were talking about Catherine's dad the other day. Okay, I know like the only thing I have straight about the Order is Paul is the leader and Patty is his first wife. That's about everything else everybody tells me, I just forget. I get totally messed up. I'm just kind of like, whatever.
So it's working.
Yeah. So is Jesse Paul's full brother?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's like, when they say he's one of the 7 brothers, he's like one of the 7 brothers.
Yeah, and then like Amanda's dad is Paul's half brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Jana's dad is Paul's full brother.
No, half brother.
Oh.
So Amanda and Jana, their dads are full brothers.
Okay. Got it.
But they're half brothers to like Paul, Jesse, Jason, all of them.
Yeah. And just so the audience knows, how long have you been gone from the Kingston group? And what year did you leave?
So I left in 2017. So next year it'll be 10 years.
Got it. You left during that kind of interesting time for the FLDS, but they were doing that Escaping Polygamy show.
Mm-hmm.
And they were doing it like some FLDS episodes and some Order Kingston episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So were you in one of those?
Yeah, I was on that.
Yeah.
But I think like most people who've watched that know me by Ava, because that was like my fake Facebook profile name.
Oh, and is that what you went off in the show too? Did they call you?
I think they used both names.
Oh.
But like people who watched it, they would call me Ava.
Got it.
So I guess it was kind of confusing.
That's the first show I watched when I was leaving the FLDS.
Really?
I watched all those episodes. I bet I watched yours, but I just don't remember totally.
Well, I had blonde hair.
Oh, did you?
So I looked different.
Okay.
Yeah. But we watched those when we were in the Order. And then I guess I watched them after I left too.
Do people there still watch them?
Mm-hmm.
They probably watch my podcast sometimes.
Probably, because you started having Order people on it.
Yeah.
They're like, what are these guys up to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Order, do you have to have natural hair?
So my dad's family, we weren't supposed to do like crazy dyeing, but I got highlights when I was in the Order.
So your hair was blonde, but was it like just naturally blonde, or?
It was, well, my hair is naturally blonde, like in general. Mm-hmm. And then I got highlights when I was in the Order.
Yeah.
And then after I left, I went brown, and then I went back to blonde, and then back to brown.
That's such a big deal in the FLDS. Like, you cannot dye your hair.
Yeah.
Is it awkward in the world if men dye their hair? Just like
No.
in general society.
I think I think it depends on the person. Like some people think it's weird, some people don't. But I think it depends on if you do it so that it looks natural or if you do it so it looks like clearly you dyed it or you went to someone that didn't know what they were doing.
Uh-huh.
Then like that might look weird.
Yeah, it might look weird, but I'm just trying to, like, is it socially acceptable for men to dye their hair?
I think it's socially acceptable, yeah.
Like
But I think like how people feel about it, it depends on how drastic you go.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm just asking because I couldn't quite tell. Like, I feel like I see a girl and then the next time I see her, she has a totally different color of hair, but that never happens with men.
Well, you could do that. Are you thinking of dyeing your hair?
I wasn't thinking about it. I was just trying to figure out, like, if it's socially
Weird.
acceptable in the world, you know?
I think men don't do it a whole lot,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's like not socially acceptable.
Yeah. I feel like it's just kind of a weird thing to do for a man, you know?
Well, I think that's also part of a little bit of what, like when people from the order leave, how they grow and like learn different things, and then people from, I don't know, I guess I think people from the order are they ask a lot of questions and they're very blunt about their questions, but I don't know how like FLDS people are. Like, do you ask a lot of questions like when you see people in public?
No.
No.
No. I do ask questions, but they're nice. They're really
Do you feel like we
nice.
ask mean questions?
No.
I don't.
I don't know. I see. I've only ever really talked to Kingstons on the podcast.
Well, we would still ask mean questions on the podcast if we cared to.
Oh, okay. So Kingstons have like they're just blunt.
I think it kind of depends on the person. I think people tell me I'm very blunt, and I think people are scared of me.
Can you pull that birdie closer?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss any of your bluntness.
Well, no, I think I just thinking back on like questions I've asked people, that people were shocked to hear the question.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I think that sometimes I ask questions that I don't know are going to be blunt.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I'm not purposefully being rude or anything. I
Yeah.
think that's another thing. I talk to a lot of women and stuff on the podcast, and I've just asked random questions, or I start laughing or something, and people are like, "Well, what is your problem?" And
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, I just didn't know that, you know."
Yeah. No, I think that's a big thing when you leave, like understanding what's socially acceptable and what's not.
Yeah.
But I think the only way you find out is by asking the questions. Like you saying, is it socially acceptable for men to dye their hair? Like, I think that's the only way you're going to find out is by asking.
Yeah. So did you understand dating in the world when you left the Kingstons? Like, did you understand what was socially acceptable in the general world versus the Kingstons? Or was the Kingston way of life, like, if I'm in the FLDS,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even understand how dating even works anywhere else. You know, did you understand the world, how it worked, and you just knew that's not what you guys did?
I think partially because we watched movies. So we saw like what was on movies, but that's not the same as like real life. So I think we knew parts of it, but I also went to public school. So for a little bit, so I kind of knew some things from that, but I definitely knew, I would say yes and no.
Well,
Because
isn't the Kingston don't they just have a public school? Is that the public school you're talking about?
no, I actually graduated high school before they had that.
Oh,
So I went to like the Kingston Elementary School, but then for middle school and high school, I went to like a normal public school and just had like a lot of rules. But I think there were different things that was just like weird to me after I left. For example, like in the order, the dad of the child usually like delivers the baby. And
really?
yeah, like So my dad delivered my mom's kids. And then my grandma helped him.
Oh, you're saying the husband usually delivers
Yeah.
the babies.
But then, like, my sister, her husband didn't have a lot of experience delivering babies. So, like, my dad also helped to deliver some of her babies. So it was like my dad and my sister's husband delivered my sister's kids.
So you kind of just thought that was normal.
I knew that was not normal, but when I went to like have my daughter, then I was like talking to their dad and saying like, well, I'm going to go to the hospital and have the baby. You go to work and then I'll tell you when I'm done and I'm ready to be picked up from the hospital. And he was like, well, what the fuck? Do you not want me there? And I was just like so confused of like, what do you need to be there for? What are you gonna do?
Wait, this is
my kid's dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did you not want... Did you think him being there was like an order thing?
Well, I just thought like, what good is he gonna do in there?
He's
not gonna deliver the baby.
Is he an order person?
No.
Well, didn't you understand that he was the father? Maybe he...
Well, see, I didn't understand that. Like, I didn't get it. He was like, well, because I want to be there when my kid's born. And I said, well, what good are you gonna do me? You're not. And he like didn't know if he should say something of like, okay, I really want to be there, or if he should just like let it go and just deal with it basically. Because he's like, is this something that she doesn't want me there, or is this something where she's like doesn't know what is supposed to go, like how life works.
Well, I saw this TikTok the other day that said, it was this girl saying, no matter what, I can't have my husband there when I deliver a baby. That's not going to happen. He can be outside the room. He can, and I was just like, oh, okay, I don't understand, but whatever.
Yeah, so, and that was like him. He was like, is it like this, where she's like passionate about me not being there, or does she just not know any better?
And you just didn't know better?
Yeah, because I was like, who are you? Not a doctor. But I think I also, like, when I was in the order, then I told my mom, like, I'm going to have my kids in the hospital, and I'm just going to tell their dad when I'm done. And she was like, well, you have to tell him, and you're supposed to deliver your babies at home. And I told her, like, he's not going to give a shit. He's going to be happy that he doesn't have to deliver yet another baby, just like Dad is. And she was like, okay, she's just being a brat again.
Yeah.
So I would like have a lot of those conversations with my mom.
I feel like most women would, or there's a lot of women that would feel sad if their husband didn't want to be there, or they would feel like he was emotionally disconnected, or didn't understand her emotions, or how would you say it? Like, oh, he's being a distant.
Yeah. Like he's not involved emotionally.
Yeah.
Well, and I think like people out in the world would think that, yeah. But how I was raised of like, well, I guess it also take into account like my dad was tired of delivering babies. So he started training me on how to deliver babies because he's like, I'm so sick of delivering babies and waking up in the middle of the night. I want someone else to do it. So I was like going with that mindset from a guy and saying like, he'll be thankful, one less person to worry about. So
I see.
It's like all these things that stack up to make me think those things. And then I'm like, oh, it doesn't need to be that wild. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so you're like this teenage girl and your dad's wives are having a baby almost every day or week or something. Right?
It really wasn't that crazy. He was just like dramatic.
Your dad's dramatic.
Yeah. So my dad is the youngest. He was the youngest for 7 years, and then Catherine's dad was born. So Catherine's dad is the baby of the family. So that's why people say like my dad was spoiled and like is really mean because he was the baby for so long and got whatever he wanted.
And so is Catherine's dad worse?
It depends on what aspect you're talking about. People say my dad is the worst, like, in terms of being mean and, like, an asshole. But Catherine's dad is just like, throws fits.
Does it make you feel less significant having 200 siblings?
Less significant to who? Because I'm like very important to me.
Yeah.
Like less significant to my dad?
Yeah, just like...
I don't think my dad really gave a shit to start.
Uh-huh.
I think if you care, then you don't have that many kids. Because then no matter if you have one kid or if you have 50 kids or if you have 200 kids, there's still only 24 hours in the day.
Yeah.
So I think if they gave a shit, they wouldn't have a million kids.
I agree, but for me, like, did you care about yourself when you were there? Or just
In what
now?
aspect? Well, I've cared about myself for a long time.
You care...
Well, that's why I ran away.
You care about, like, staying alive, but...
Yeah. Like, back then I didn't.
Uh-huh.
Well, but back then I was like, if I don't stand up for me, then nobody else is going to. So I knew I didn't matter to my dad. Like, that was just a given.
Well, I didn't quite understand the mindset about delivering babies. So your dad delivered babies, then he taught you how to deliver babies.
He was trying to teach me how to take over for him.
And then that somehow made so that you didn't want your husband to be there.
Well, because I'm like, he doesn't know how to deliver a baby. I'm going to this doctor, and she's going to be the one to deliver my baby. So then what is he supposed to do in the room? Twiddle his thumbs? And I was like, I don't need him doing that in the room. He can go to work.
So you were thinking purely in terms of logic.
Yeah.
Like, if I get up in the morning and somebody could make me breakfast, and then we could like eat it together, but if it was more efficient, we could just like microwave something and both get to work real quick.
Yeah. I think
that's emotional disconnection. It's like I would prefer to eat breakfast with you just because I would enjoy spending a little bit of time with you.
Yeah, and that's the thing though, like when I was in the order, and also like when I first left, I was not, well, like in the order, you're not supposed to have emotions.
Yeah.
So it was like, when I was in the order, I was thinking of things in terms of logic. And then when I left, then I was like, still just thinking like that. I think I still kind of think more logically than emotionally, but I'm not as like emotionally disconnected.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this probably why you might be a good business person, because if you're so efficient that your husband can just keep working while you're having a baby, then that's a pretty high level of efficiency.
Well, I think also like that shows how like not connected we were and how like it wasn't gonna last.
Yeah, the thing that I'm getting from it is not so much just how you thought about delivering babies, it's just a serious level of emotional disconnection. That's kind of what you're trying to say, isn't it?
Yeah, I think like it was worse in the order, but like because my mind was so like, because I cared about him. Like when we were together, there was emotions there, but it was just like my mind would go to the logic side first.
Okay.
And then like because he told me, he's like, well, I think most dads want to be there when their baby's born. And I like understood kind of. I was like, for what? Like he didn't have to necessarily convince me, but he had to like have more than one conversation about it.
Yeah.
Of like, so what are you going to do while I'm over there in labor?
Well, that kind of ties in with the whole dating scene. What, in some sense, though, on that same line, you could be like, well, why do we need to sit on the couch and kiss and watch a movie? We could just fuck and have a kid and keep working.
I mean, yeah, I definitely just thought on the logical side of things. But I'm just like, okay, well, because we would spend time together. Obviously, that's why we have 2 kids. But it wasn't about like, hey, let's make sure we like our personalities fit well together. Yeah.
But were you pretty emotionally unavailable when you started dating. Is that because I was asking about dating? Are you saying you just were emotionally unavailable? You didn't really know what human connection felt like or meant.
Well, I feel like I knew what it felt like because, like, human nature knows what that feels like. Like, just as a person, you know that what that looks like. But growing up in the order, there's just so many ways that it's like forces you to be disconnected that you're kind of like, that just becomes the norm. And it becomes like abnormal to be able to like be emotionally connected, I guess.
Yeah.
Because that was one thing too. I had to like ask my therapist after years, even after I left. I said, like, what does joy feel like? And what does love feel like when it's towards someone other than your kid? Because, like, I don't understand it. I mean, like, this was years ago now, but, like, there was a point that I asked my therapist that I was like, I don't know what the fuck that means.
When you were growing up, like when you were 5,
Mm-hmm.
10, 15,
Mm-hmm.
when you look back on it, what's the most connected you felt to somebody? Was it like when you were 5 and you still loved your mom?
Well, I still love my mom today, but...
Well, I mean like emotionally connected.
Well, and I think that's also a little bit different for me because when I was born, when I was like 9 months, my mom went to jail. And so we lived with my grandma for a little bit. And then by the time we moved back in with my mom, then she was like having another baby. So I was just like an accessory. So like even when I got older, then she was talking to me like as if her mom was also my mom. Like I was like her sibling rather than her kid. Because she would say like, go give this to mom. And she would be talking about her mom. And then when she would talk to my siblings, then she'd say like, go give this to grandma. So it was just like weird.
Why'd she go to jail?
Because a baby died in her care. Getting real traumatic real quick.
How do you feel? Do you feel like it was her fault, or what do you feel about that?
From what I was told then, no, it wasn't her fault.
But she
was
went to
taking the
jail.
fall for someone else.
Whose fault was it?
From the stories I've been told, it was my dad.
Allegedly, it was your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What did he do to make this baby die? You don't know.
Beat the shit out of her.
Beat the baby?
Yeah.
Like
Like what? Like what are you
like
asking?
drop him on the floor, or
No, like hit him.
just hit the baby?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well,
That's why they say my dad's the craziest.
I guess
and the meanest.
if you have 200 kids.
Well, it wasn't one of his kids.
Oh, it wasn't?
It was someone else's kids.
Oh.
But it was at my mom's house because she was babysitting.
How old was this baby?
18 months.
That's getting older, you know. That's more like a kid.
Well, it was like less than 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But isn't that when they start walking and stuff?
Well,
Babies?
they usually start walking before they're 1, but yeah.
Oh, they do. See, I have not been around babies for ages.
Yeah.
So,
You don't have any friends with kids?
oh yeah, my brother has kids.
You just stay far away from them?
I just go over there once in a while, but I never knew. I never quite remembered how old they were.
You don't interact with them?
I do.
Are they just like accessories?
No.
No?
My brother, he loves his kids a lot, so.
Well, I'm sure he loves them. I'm just saying, like, are they just like accessories to you?
You're making me feel bad.
Well, that's the thing though, like, if they're not your kids, you do feel differently about it.
Oh no, I would take care of his kids if he couldn't, you know.
Well, yeah, but they're just kind of there.
I definitely wouldn't hit them, you know.
Well, I guess that's a good.
Yeah.
That's a plus.
So your mom she went to jail so that your dad wouldn't have to.
Well, because they
basically.
told my mom, they said, either you and him can go to jail because of incest, or you can go to jail so you don't have to take him away from his family. So it was like, well, either way, my mom felt like she was going to go to jail.
Why incest? Do you go to jail because of incest?
Yeah, well, at the time,
Oh,
I don't know
really?
if like now it's as crazy as they thought it was back then. I don't think it's necessarily good, but yeah, you could go to jail for incest.
That's wild. They put you in jail for incest?
Why are you trying to live incest or what?
Dang. You really like blaming me for these things.
I'm just asking. It's a
No,
question.
no. I already have got too close to some of my cousins. I just didn't realize it. That was
Yeah.
when I was first leaving.
Well, I think it's like also if you're like procreating with them and like all that stuff. Because my mom got married when she was under 18, I'm pretty sure. So it like depends.
Your terminology.
What?
Well,
What terminology?
I was just thinking, if you're talking about your cousin, you could say it depends on like if you marry them. But I guess your choice of words was if you're procreating with them.
Well, because apparently, if you watch that new FLDS documentary, then they said it's not a crime if you say they're your wife. That's what the police said, didn't they?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying procreating. That's what they said. They said if
I
you're trying to
see.
procreate, then
Yeah, I
that's
see
when the
what you're
crime
saying.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't go arrest him when they said they were his wife. That's a trip.
Yeah. Well, and I work, because I got my bachelor's degree in criminal justice. So it's also like taking into account how the phrasing matters.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That's why you were using that term.
Well, I mean, it's a term in my vocabulary, and I chose to use it, but yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that works too.
Okay. I didn't know that you could go to jail for incest.
But also, like, I don't know how seriously they take it, but that's what they were telling her, though.
Oh, okay.
Just like I'm sure you're aware of, like, them just saying, oh, this is going to be something that makes sure you can never see your family again.
Yeah.
Whether it's true or not.
Okay. And then, so she's like, yeah, I'll go to jail for, how long was she in jail?
She wasn't in jail. She wasn't in jail for very long, but she was on probation for like 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think the kid's dad bailed her out.
Was it a felony?
I think they like pled it down because she took an Alford plea where she said like, I'm not going to plead guilty, but I know you have the evidence to like convict me, basically.
I wonder what your dad did when he hit this baby or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what he did after. Was he like, oh, God, I think I killed this kid?
Probably not necessarily.
Really?
Like, I don't think he was very scared. But I know that, like, from what they told me and people told me, then they called Paul and asked, like, what should we do? So, like, he knew they had to have a plan, but I don't think he was worried about going to jail.
So did they just call the police and say this kid died?
It was hours later, and they said that she's bleeding out of her mouth or something.
Did they take her to the hospital?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right then?
Well, no, so they called the ambulance, like, a couple hours after it happened.
Was she bleeding right when it happened?
Yeah, I'm sure. But they said, like, the doctors said that her injuries were equivalent to if she fell from a, like, 2 or 3 story building.
Really?
So it was pretty bad.
So he must have really wound up and just whacked her or something.
Yeah, his temper is really, really testy.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your mom comes out of jail. She goes to jail when you're 9.
No, when I was 9 months old.
9 months.
Mm-hmm.
9 months old.
Mm-hmm.
And then she comes out, and then she's pregnant again.
Yeah, I remember when we were living with her again, then she was like getting ready to have her baby, the next one after me. So, yeah.
Okay. So you're kind of your mom's sibling.
I think, well, I lived with my mom after that, but I think sometimes she saw me as more of a sibling than a daughter. Because
Yeah.
she also, like, got really close to me and, like, would vent to me about things, like, that my dad would do or some of, like, the other sister wives would do, more than my siblings.
Yeah. Were you tight with your sisters growing up, or?
No. No, my mom's boys that were right above me, I was, like, close to them. Then my mom's boys that were right under me, I was, like, kind of close to them. But I was more close to, like, my mom than my sister. But my mom's oldest daughter, because I'm the second oldest girl, but she, when we were growing up, she was just like a brat.
Who? Your
My
mom?
sister.
Oh, your sister.
Yeah, and my mom would say that too.
Okay.
I mean, maybe she's better now.
Is she still there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and right before I left, then I got along with her. Like, we were friends. But when we were kids, we were not friends.
But like, what makes you a brat when you're in the Kingstons? You just don't obey, or?
Well, I think it depends on who's calling you a brat.
Well, her mom.
Well, because she would just, like, not listen, yeah. But for me, she would do mean things to us. Like, she was mean. And, like, I guess this might be a good example. After she got married and had kids, like, I had to teach her how to feed her baby. And, like, I had to teach her how to use a car seat. And she was 7 years older than me. So it was like, she just didn't help with things. So she
was
only cared about herself, basically, for a long time.
She was extremely emotionally disconnected from anything.
I wouldn't necessarily say she was emotionally disconnected. I think she probably was, like, similar to how we were. But she, like, if she didn't want to do it, then she would say, I'm not doing that.
Well, why did you have to teach her how to feed her kid?
Because when we were growing up and like, we had more siblings, then she was just like, I'm not doing that. So we would do that. So we would, like, I would feed my younger siblings and then she didn't have to because I would.
So she's kind of just a brat.
Well, that's what I said. But like I said, I think after she had kids, I think she got nicer once she had kids and, like, saw, I don't know, that emotional connection that she could have.
Do you mean you just had to, like, teach her how to, like, smash avocados and?
I mean, I guess. And, like, how to use a car seat and how to give her kids a bath. And just, like, I don't know. Maybe she was just, like, not as oriented.
I feel like I've never used a car seat, but I feel like you wouldn't need to show me how.
Well, let's try it. Well, that's the thing, too. I think she just, like, wouldn't go and learn things on her own, too. It was just, like, help me. She was kind of, like, she kind of came off helpless sometimes. Where she's just like, I don't know what to do. Someone help me. And we were like, well, we all know how to do it.
How many siblings do you have from your own mother?
My mom has 12 kids. So I have, 12 living kids. So I have 11 siblings who, like, lived past, like, my mom had some, like, stillborn babies, and then, like, miscarriages. But 11 living siblings.
Okay. And she probably would, so she was probably pregnant most of her adult life.
My mom?
Yeah. Well, if she had a couple stillborn kids,
Mm-hmm.
and then she had 12 kids.
Yeah. Well, she had them, like, every 2 years mostly.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about people being pregnant, or, like, you know, as a woman, like, being pregnant with 12 kids? Do you see that as, like, a hard thing or a negative thing, or just kind of a choice, like, oh, maybe it's their choice?
Well, I don't necessarily think, like, people should be, like, sterilized after a certain point. I think, like, that's kind of up to them.
Well, I didn't say they should be sterilized.
Well, you asked. You said,
Uh,
do you think it should be up to them? That's what I said. If it's not up to them, then they're going to be sterilized.
Well, I was just wondering, like,
For example, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to have 12 kids.
yeah,
Because it's not fun, in my opinion. But, like I said, whether you have 1 kid or you have 5 kids or you have 12 kids, there's still 24 hours in a day. So you can't really give all your attention to a kid if you have 15 of them or 200 of them.
Well, we looked at having a kid as like a moral thing. You
Like, what do you
know,
mean?
like it was the right thing
Mm-hmm.
to have a kid.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
oh, you're good. I'm just trying to think. Is it a moral thing to like have a kid or not really?
I think, so like in the order, then we were taught like that's just what you do, is you have kids. And you have as many kids as you are able to. So like even like having a kid a year, then that's like the better thing to do. But I think like in general society, it's not necessarily like a moral thing. I think they're moving away from it being like this is just a woman's like job, if that makes sense. Because like in the order, it was just a woman's job to have kids. But I think in society, then some people and some parents still think that. Like you're going to grow up and I'm going to have grandkids. But then there's people who are kind of moving away from that, thinking like, well, you guys are going to grow up and I may not have grandkids. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm just trying to decide if it's a moral, like, I see what you're saying. Once you have a kid,
Mm-hmm.
the kid is a moral, like, you have to keep them alive. They're a person now.
Well, I don't think you do that because of the morals. I think you do that because that's life.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like in the FLDS or the Kingstons, I feel like it's a moral thing to bring a kid. But what like in the general world, it's a moral thing to keep the kid alive.
Well, I guess what's your definition of moral? Like what do
I was
you
just
mean by
thinking
that?
like that's what's looked on as a good thing.
Well, I don't know if necessarily in the world like the moral part is to keep your kid alive. I think that's just like the expectation. Does that make sense?
Well,
Are you using moral as like interchangeably with like expectation? I guess it kind of sounds like you are.
Well, yeah, because like society expect like you go to jail if it's immoral to not keep your kid alive, right?
Well, I guess like I don't think normal people like use moral and immoral. They say like as a parent, it's your responsibility to take care of the kid. But I guess yeah.
But they don't do it because they're going to go to jail.
They're doing it because they love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like that would be society looking at it as a moral obligation. Kind of.
Well, I think they like don't steal from people because that's a moral obligation.
Right.
But I don't think like taking care of your kids, I think there's more emotion there than just saying like,
oh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Some people do it because they love their kid, and some people do it so they won't go to jail.
Yeah. And like I think in the order there were a lot of people who did it so they didn't go to jail.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because they like love their kid.
Yeah.
But that's like my opinion and my perspective from what I saw in the order.
Yeah. So if your dad beat the kid to death,
Mm-hmm.
did he beat you?
Sometimes, yeah.
Like how hard would he beat you?
Do you want me to show you?
Yeah.
On you?
Oh, you are so funny.
Am I?
Yeah, it's fun to talk to you. I
didn't tickle when he did it.
Do you need like a stick to show me, or?
I'm not gonna show you.
Uh,
But there were times that my dad told my mom that if she didn't do it, then he would. And so my mom was like, okay, well, I would rather do it because I would rather them be alive after.
Mm.
So, yeah. But there were times when my dad did. But
So
I
he
think,
beat you pretty hard.
yeah, like I said, it didn't tickle.
Part of me feels like you're still so logical about this emotional stuff.
Like what? Why?
I don't know.
Like because of what I'm saying?
Yeah, just everything you explain about something emotional is so logical.
Well, because like the logical side made more sense to me like first. Emotions didn't make sense to me until like after I left.
Do you think that gets you farther in life or not really?
I think to a point.
Yeah.
I think people who like think of things emotionally, they progress and do better at certain things than people who think logically probably do better on certain things. Like I don't think lawyers could be like thinking emotionally a lot of the time. Otherwise, they'll be no good at anything. Because if they get yelled at, they'll start crying.
Yeah.
So I think like it depends on what your goal is in life and what you're like looking for. But I think like in some ways it definitely hinders growth if you think like just logically.
Yeah. Do Kingston kids ever cry?
Not if you do what you're told.
Well, like ever. Like
Yeah.
do they cry or not really?
They do, yeah. But we were told like if you cry then they'll hit you until you stop. And like if they hit you and then you start crying and they say, I'm gonna keep hitting you until you stop crying.
That's mean.
Did you guys not?
No.
You guys didn't get hit at all, or you guys didn't get hit for crying?
I didn't get hit when I was growing up. Maybe by one of my brothers or something once in a while, but even that would have been like not acceptable.
Oh dang. So you guys cared a little bit.
Oh, Dad did not like people to hit
Well,
you.
how'd he get you to listen? I
Put
guess
you
you didn't because you left, huh?
put you in your room and you're not condemning me for not listening to my dad, right?
Oh, I'm saying I didn't listen because I clearly left.
Yeah.
So I guess I didn't get hit enough to their standards.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, I'm not saying you should follow your dad. If you feel like you should, then I guess that's something you should probably talk to a therapist about, but
Yeah, I don't have intentions of, following Dad, but he was just like more it was much more mental.
yeah.
Like put you in the bathroom for a couple hours or something.
Yeah, I think that was one thing because like there were older people who went down to like the FLDS to help them with like floods or whatever. And from like things I heard from those people who went and saw like the FLDS, it sounded like there was more love in the FLDS than there was in the order. But I don't know, I could be wrong. I only lived on one side.
Well, it sounds like it to me too. Like you guys were just over getting beat all the time.
Unless we listened. But yeah.
Yeah, but don't you think that a lot of times the beatings come more just from somebody's hate of somebody? Like one kid can do the very same thing and not get beat.
Oh yeah, we saw it all the time. So that's why I say like I don't feel like when I found out my dad didn't care about me, like it wasn't necessarily a shock to me because I saw like little things here and there for so long. So when you said like, do you feel like you just didn't have very much significance to your dad because there was like 200 kids? I don't feel like I had very much significance to my dad in the first place until I started being useful to him. And then at that point, and then he cared. But that was like when I was older.
What do you feel like the hardest part of Kingston growing up is? Is it that getting married, getting closer to getting married timeline, or is it like from 9 to 12 or 12 to 15?
I think it depends on how you're raised and like who your parents are for sure. But I also think that it depends on, like, each stage is hard in its own way. Because, like, I started working when I was 7. And it was like, that was hard because then I had to start realizing how much, like, what I could afford and what I couldn't afford. And then when you get to be older, then you have to start realizing, like, well, I'm going to get married and this is going to be what it looks like. But then when you get married, like, not that I've ever been married in the order, but I saw, like, other people go through hardships and see that they have to see their husband not care about them or not care about their kids the same way as, like, someone else's kids. So I think each stage has its own hardships.
Yeah.
But I think, like, some people get beat a lot before they're, like, 7, and some people get beat more between, like, 8 and 15. So I think it, like, depends on each person's perspective and how they live.
Do they like use a stick to beat you or like a
You're
broom?
you're really wondering about that, huh?
Yeah. Like their hand.
Well, they had, yeah, all the above. They had, like, their hand, there was, like, it looked similar to, like, a police baton that my mom had
Really?
until it broke. But then she had, like, boards, like, belts, boards with nails in it.
Nails in it.
Yeah.
Damn.
We had the whole thing.
Nails in it.
Yeah, she did.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
That would make you bleed.
Well, it didn't tickle.
That's so crazy to me that they just get beat all the time.
I think it also, some people got beat more than others. Because some people tell me, they're like, well, we didn't get beat. And I'm like, well, I'm happy for you. Like, I don't think people should just get beat. But also, that doesn't mean other people weren't. So I don't necessarily want to say, like, everybody in the order's gotten beat. I mean, maybe they have, maybe they haven't. But there were a lot of people I saw get beat. So, yeah.
Well, they always have that board on hand for you.
Well, they do.
That's wild. So when did you start learning who you were going to marry or how you were going to get married?
They told me when I was 8 who I was going to marry.
Your mom told you, or?
It was like a conversation with my mom and dad, yeah.
And who was this person you were going to marry? I mean, if you don't want to say their name, that's fine, but.
It was my cousin.
And how did they make this determination? Just decided?
Yeah, I don't know if they necessarily, like, stars aligned or whatever.
Did you tell them, yeah, I think that's who I want to marry, or?
Well, I think at first I just said, like, okay. And then as I got older, I was like, yeah, I don't want to marry him. And they said, that's cute. That's not how it works. Basically.
That's okay. So what age did you say you're not gonna marry him?
Well, it was, like, different. I said it a couple times, but I was like, yeah, I don't want to marry him. I want to marry, like, this other person. And they were like, no.
What didn't you like about him?
Well, I mean, he was my cousin to start. I didn't think that was very cute.
But wasn't that normal?
It was, but also, like, he wasn't very cute.
Oh, okay.
So I think, I don't know, he's kind of, like, stuck up. He just thinks the world of himself.
So he was just kind of arrogant.
Well, I think, because he's Paul's son from his first wife.
So he's Patty's son.
Yeah, so he basically thinks he's, like, next to God.
Oh, I see.
But, like, I couldn't be God in that scenario, so. Just kidding.
So you didn't want to marry him because he was just super arrogant, really.
He was just, like, full of himself, and, like, my dad, everything had to be perfect for him. And that's how I saw, like, that's how I felt he was. Like, everything had to be perfect for him. And, like, my dad, in one of our girls' meeting, he said, like, how to be a good wife from, like, the 1950s. And it was, like, you can't have the vacuum on, you can't have the laundry going. And so it was just, like, expecting perfection, basically. So I'm like, I don't want to live like that.
So perfection is like having the food just right, or
Well, like, having the food just right, having the house all clean, having the kids behave just perfectly. They can't, like, give him a hug if he's not ready to give him a hug. They can't have, like, anything on their face. It's just, like, expecting perfection in every way.
you just kind of got to read his mind
Yeah.
and make it happen.
And I got good at doing that for my dad before I left. And that's why, like, I got to know all the information that I learned from my dad before I left. But it wasn't how I wanted to live.
What do you mean by the information you got from your dad? Just like how he operated.
Well, he wanted me to become, like I said, he wanted me to deliver some of his kids, some of his, like, babies. And then he also wanted me to be his next personal assistant. Because after my mom went to jail, then she became, like, his assistant at work. And then, like, his cars were in my mom's name and, like, all that kind of stuff. So then he wanted me to learn how to do that because he said, like, your mom's gonna die and I need you to do that. And I was like, cool, I guess.
Why was your mom gonna die?
Because she was, like, running herself into the ground trying to please my dad, basically. Having kids and, like, not getting the right nutrition she needed, or
Well, is she still alive?
yeah. But I think he thought she was gonna die a couple times while I was still in the order.
That's quite the assumption.
Well, he seems to be good about finding out when people are gonna die. I'm just kidding. No, I think because one of her kids, she was, like, in and out of the hospital the whole pregnancy because her kidneys were failing. But then, like, that one ended up living. And then she had another one that it was, like, stillborn. It's, like, a whole tangent of, like, my mom and her different, like, births. Because then she had to, like, my dad said she was wasting his time because she, like, was going into labor. But then he was like, well, call me when you're ready for me, basically. I don't have time to sit around at your house and chill with you and your kids, basically.
So he was teaching you how to not care about that. That's where you learned it, kind of.
Well, I think I learned it long before that, but I
Yeah.
think that also goes into effect. So then my mom was like, okay, well, I'm not going to call him until I'm, like, ready to push the baby out. And then on one of her kids, her water broke, but she didn't, like, know it was necessarily her water because it was, like, a slow drip, not just, like, the water breaking all at once. And then, so she didn't call him. And she finally did after, like, 2 weeks. And then the baby was stillborn because it wasn't, like, they didn't get it out in time. And then she, like, passed out and they thought she was going to die during that delivery.
Because the baby needed to breathe, right?
Well, I think, like, yeah, basically. But, like, just the process of birth,
Yeah.
like, if you're not having, like, there's certain things they have to do after your water breaks. You only have a certain amount of time to get the baby out, basically, or the baby's probably not going to live. But then if they don't do that, then it just, like, slowly was dying in her body, and then it was killing her body too.
So how old were you when he wanted you to become his assistant?
Well, he was, like, having me start practicing basically when I was, like, 15. Like, a little bit before that, like, around 15 was when I started, like, going and doing things without my mom, basically.
Did he tell you your mom was gonna die?
Well, he didn't say, like, hey, guess what, your mom's gonna die.
Uh-huh.
He said, like, when mom can't do, like, all this stuff anymore, then I'm gonna need you to take over. And then I think it was like, it might have been a conversation with my dad or a conversation with my mom when it was like, well, when I die, you need to take over, basically. Yeah.
How'd you feel about life at 15? Like, in general, were you just very logical about it, or were you like having some good times? Were you laughing with your sisters and brothers? Were you finishing up school? Like how did you feel about life at 15?
Well, I think I definitely smiled a couple times when I was 15.
Okay.
No, so when I was 15, I had like just graduated high school from public school, and like there we had good times, but there were also like, okay, what's coming up? Like I'm gonna have to get married. There's all these things that are just wrong. So like there were some good things and good times, but there were also a lot of things that were like, this is not how I want to live, basically. Because I also decided I wanted to like not be in the order when I was 8. So I decided like a long time before that. Because I just didn't want to be B anymore. So I was like, yeah, this is like not fun.
Okay.
Yeah. So there were some like logical thoughts, but some of them were not very logical.
When do you stop getting beat?
Depends on if you're lucky or not.
Is it like pretty much when you get old enough to beat back, or
No.
like 15-year-olds still getting beat quite a bit?
I think as you get older, from what I saw, you would get beat less.
You kind of learn.
Like where the line is, yeah.
Yeah.
But, like before I left, like what I would consider like my last really, really bad beating was like October 2016, October, November. So I was like 16.
Yeah.
I mean, I was hit like after that, but that was like one of the worst ones, I would say.
Well, do they like take you and put you somewhere, or they just start beating you where you are?
It depends on
Like
how things happen.
come into your bed and beat you on you, or
That's happened, yeah.
yeah,
It kind of depends on
yeah,
what's going on, the scenario,
right,
what you did wrong.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of how. I'm still trying to figure out how you think. Okay, so you weren't happy when you were 15.
No. I think, like I said, there were some good times, and that's what I think people think. Oh, if you had fun, then you were happy. And it's like there were some things I was happy about.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was happy when my dad would not be at my mom's house. Like that was pretty exciting. And that's not me being sarcastic. Like
Yeah.
every time we found out my dad was coming, we were like, oh my god, okay, I guess we gotta prepare. And then if he was coming like more frequently, then we would ask everybody like, what did you do wrong? Because this is not acceptable. Like we're not having him come to our house very often.
So you were happy not because you were going on a vacation with your mom, but because your dad wasn't coming to beat you up, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's the thing though, we did go on some vacations, but also, and I think people who are in the order, even now, they're like, you guys went on lots of vacations, because we would go to Comic-Con every year, but we would go to buy my dad toys. And we would go to like carry my dad's toys for 2 miles to the car. So people are like, don't you guys go, because when I was in the order, people were like, don't you guys go to California every single year? And I would tell them, if you want to take my place, like I'd be happy to. Like I would rather not go to California so that I don't have to do that shit. So, but like we had fun. There were times that we like laughed and joked and stuff with my mom when we were on vacation. or when we were home.
Well, what did your dad need the toys for?
He was above me, so it didn't matter to me. Just kidding. I asked. I was like, well, why does he need these toys? He has so much toys. He just wanted them. You should ask him, actually.
Why did he need toys?
He didn't play with them.
What did he do with them?
Store them.
Store them?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
Can you give me any more explanation? Or...
Like Star Wars toys? I don't know, what explanation do you want?
I just don't understand why he needed toys. Like,
So my dad...
Don't most people, like, kind of lose interest in toys when they, like, once you get to be maybe 20, you, like, your toys have become more advanced by then. Like, for me, now I have a dirt bike. I would consider that a toy.
Mm-hmm.
But...
Well, and that was the thing, too. Like, I was going and spending my money on buying my dad toys, but, like, I didn't play with toys. So it was like we were buying toys when we didn't even play with toys. So, and we, like, had to make sure we were holding the box correctly so we wouldn't get, like, fingerprints on it and shit. Fun times. And I actually had to wear, like, a boot so we can get in, like, the handicap line.
Why? When?
When we went to California to go to Comic-Con.
So that you didn't have to wait so long.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
And we would, like, sleep outside on the ground in the lines so my dad could be, like, the first one in. And he would go, like, sleep in his bed. So, like, and then when we took, like, some of my dad's other kids to Disneyland, then, like, I would go wait in line, and then they would get off a ride and, like, come take my spot in line, and I would go and, like, wait in another line so they can come get off that ride and go on that one. So when people are like, oh, didn't you guys go to vacation every year? And I'm like, please take my spot. Because I'm just, like, sitting in lines all day. Like those professional line sitters. I'd be a professional at that. Except I didn't get paid.
So, what kind of toys are these? Like, I
Like Star Wars toys.
Are you messing with me?
No, I have, like, pictures of it. Like, there's... Let me see.
Is this a normal thing? Do a lot of adults have toys, or?
I think my dad and Catherine's dad are the worst.
Well, what about just in the world? Do a lot of adults have toys?
I think they have some.
Well, like, I have a dirt bike, but...
Yeah, I don't think, like... I just don't think my dad ever grew up.
But, so what did he do with when you handed this toy to your dad? Like, what did it look like? What was it?
Well, there weren't fingerprints on it, because he taught us how not to.
That's wild. But, like, so what was his reaction when you handed him a toy?
Well, he was excited. I don't know what you're asking. You have to tell me what the question is.
No, I just don't get why he needed the toys. This isn't very logical.
Well, you don't gotta worry about that logic. Well, that logic.
Isn't this an emotional thing? Your dad needing the toys?
Well, my dad could have emotions because he got really mad a lot of the time. We just couldn't have emotions. So, like, he built himself, like, a costume, too. So, like, that's my dad. Have you seen Star Wars?
I haven't.
So, like, he built himself.
Can I see it again?
Yeah.
I want to see your dad. Okay. Interesting.
And then here's another picture of him in one of his other costumes he built.
Dude, can I put that picture on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, that's another one of him.
Okay.
So it's like little miniature ones of those.
So that's the kind of toys you were buying him?
Mm-hmm. So look, this is like Paul. It's like a family affair.
Really? That's Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
Yeah, as Batman.
I'm starting to lose my grip on reality thinking about this.
Yeah.
Dang. These cult leaders are like big into the movie
See, that's my dad.
toys or something.
Well,
Who's that?
My dad.
Oh.
Well, I don't think like Paul does this as much as like my dad does. But I think like my dad and Catherine's dad would go wild on their toys.
Dang.
Yeah.
What? I am so confused.
What?
Why?
Because he could. What else was he supposed to spend his money on? His kids? Well, that sounds like a ridiculous thought. No, for real.
I think the reason it's so hard for me to grasp is because I thought these were like people that were leading the kingdom of God or something. Or I thought they were acting like it, you know.
Well, they were.
They were?
Well,
when
they are.
Needed toys?
Well, that's the thing. Not everybody even got to know that my dad had toys until I ran away and started telling everyone on people's podcasts.
How come I've never heard about this toy thing? I've talked to like several Kingstons.
Well, because I think my dad's probably has a lot, and Catherine's dad has a lot. But I think my dad got probably off the deep end a little bit. But
So,
like most people's dads, I don't think they all have a collection of toys. I mean, they might.
will I get collecting like something you thought was cool when you were a kid? Like some people collect cards.
He thought Star Wars was cool when he was a kid, but he also thought Star Wars was cool when he was an adult.
So you'd buy your dad toys, and then he would just put them in a room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they were like movie toys type of a thing. So
like what?
can I think of it like
some of them we got from like Walmart. So like they weren't all fancy toys. Like some of them were fancy toys, but some of them were just like Walmart toys.
were they like they all had to do with like Star Wars?
A lot of them were Star Wars, but then some of them were like Army. Some of them were like when we started.
You mean like a tanker or something? A helicopter?
He probably has one, yeah.
What?
Yeah, I think you're trying to think too logically about this.
Well,
just because we use some logic, it doesn't mean we use all logic. Otherwise, they wouldn't be running a cult and failing at it.
yeah. Dude, I'm going to be thinking about that for a few days. I can't possibly understand. Like, for some reason like, I have this stereotype of your dad in my mind.
Why did you
And
show
that
a picture of him?
fucking broke it. Like, he needs toys.
Well, that's the thing. Some of my dad's wives didn't even know how much toys he had.
So, are they in, like, a room where he walks around and, like, looks at them, or...
Sometimes he walks in there. Like, he has multiple rooms. He has, like, multiple sheds. And, like, a lot of toys.
And it's just, like, super satisfying to, like, know that you own them?
I don't even pretend to know what my dad feels.
All right.
Because I don't think I think that's where he finds joy more than, like, his kids, yeah. But I could be wrong.
Okay. Dude. Oh my God. He has toys. Okay.
Let me see if I can find a picture of the big ones. I know we're talking a lot about this.
I know, but that's because I cannot possibly understand it. Like it surprised me so much.
To be fair, like, see, these bags were like the small bags filled up with toys. Those were like not all the way filled up. But to be fair, like Amanda, when she found out how much toys my dad had, she knew my dad had toys because like her dad would make fun of my dad for it when we were in the order. but she didn't know how much until like I left and started talking to her about it. And she like it blows her mind too. So I don't think like I think the public also thinks it's weird. So you probably shouldn't start one.
Start.
Like collecting some toys.
I.
It probably isn't socially acceptable for men.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. I definitely don't have the Kingstons figured out. That's for sure.
I don't think very many people do.
Did your dad like read good books? And
Like the Bible?
yeah,
Yeah, he read the Bible. I mean, he said he did.
like sincerely or just,
He said he did.
well, did he read it to you?
No. I think he'd have to care to read it to me. I don't think he cared that much. We were supposed to read it to like ourselves and to like our siblings, but he wasn't going to read it to us. He didn't want to have to spend that much time with us. That's a big commitment.
How many wives did he have?
He got married to 16. But then 2 of them left, 2 of them died.
From natural causes.
Probably natural order causes.
Okay. But
Like,
they didn't get like beat to death or something.
no. Mm-mm.
Okay. So what does he think of his wives? Like, what relationship do they have with these toys?
Well, like I said, not even all of them knew that he had toys. Only special ones.
Well, what does he think about his wives? Like, they're
Like, does he
having
like
kids
them?
for him. Yeah, like if he puts so much value on these toys, like how does he think about other things? Like does he take his religion seriously? Does he take his wives? Like how much of a fairyland is he living in?
Like, what type of fairyland are we
Just
talking?
just out of reality. I don't know. Like
Well, I think, like, people consider, like, him to be more strict with his kids. So I think even, like, within the order, people thought he was, like, probably had to stick up his ass. Like, he was just, like, uptight all the time. Even for other order people.
Can you pull that barely closer?
Yeah. But then I think, like, I don't know, he just knows his wives are servants to him. Basically.
Okay.
So it, like, depends on what reality you're talking about. Like, order reality? Or, like outside reality? Or, like, what? It depends on what reality you're talking about.
I'm just trying to figure out how he thought about the rest of the worlds because it just doesn't make sense. I can't understand why he was so focused on these toys.
Well, that's the thing, though. I think he never grew up, and I think that's what brought him joy as a kid. And that's what brought him joy when he didn't grow up. Because he would talk about, like, some of his wives he liked and some of his wives he didn't like.
The ones he liked, did he sit on the couch and watch a movie?
Well,
And then
he
kiss?
watched, he would sit on the couch and watch a movie with us. But, like, we had to, like, sit a certain way. We had to make sure we were not doing certain things or we'd get in trouble.
Was he enjoying himself or just making sure that you weren't making noise?
Probably all the above. Because we were watching whatever, like, he wanted to watch. When he would come to our house, then we would, like, eat dinner and watch TV, but he would choose, like, what we watched.
And what kind of things would he choose?
Like, football. He would watch a lot of football. And then he would watch football, baseball, and then, like, some older movies. Then he would, like, flip between.
So did they want you to start like getting ready to get married, or when you're getting older, 17? You said you left at 17, right?
Mm-hmm.
did you leave because they were starting to push you into a marriage? Was it this same guy that they told you when you were 8, or?
Yeah. So when I was 8, then they told me that I was going to marry him. But then when I was like, I was in 5th grade, however old I was back then, then I made my dad mad. So then I wasn't going to be able to be the first wife. And then he had like 2 of my half sisters marry him. And then, like, when I was 17, they're like, okay, yeah, now it's time to start having this conversation about talking to Paul about you getting married, not just like through us.
So even your dad looked at it as a positive to be the first wife.
Yeah, I think most people did. But for me and my mom, like, we didn't. Like, there was a time that I did. But then, like, talking to my mom and talking to her sisters and my grandma, then they would be like, well, why would you want to be a first wife? Because, like, this perfection that they're expecting, you have to do that all the time. But if you're, like, the 5th wife, then you can do that every 5 days. And that's way better than doing that, like, 24/7. Because that's just stressful.
Yeah, so you kind of evolved into seeing
The logical side.
yeah, the first wife is like not an important thing. But
Well, I think the first wife is an important thing, but it's not all that it's cracked up to be.
mhm.
I think, like, because you get that title of being the first wife, like, even in the order, then you're looked at as like the first wife, and like that's like prized possession. But then my mom's like, wouldn't you rather just like sneak in the background, because then you can get away with shit? But that's also one thing, like, when I would complain about my dad to my mom, she would be like, well, don't talk about your dad like that. But then I would go to her mom, my grandma, and I would be like, guess what he's doing? He's so stupid. And then that was her little brother. So she would be like, let me go yell at him.
Mhm.
And then my dad and my mom would be like, you can't talk to grandma. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to, so figure that out.
It's just interesting to me, like in the FLDS, if you thought too much about being a first wife or second wife, like that was just considered a negative. Like don't like it wasn't necessarily looked on by the man for sure as being a positive if you were a first wife.
Why?
Because everybody was supposed to be like equal, I guess, in
Oh,
some
yeah.
sense. Obviously they weren't, but it was kind of bad to look at, oh, you want to be a first wife.
Oh, well,
It's just interesting that the man, like your dad's like, okay, now you can't be the first wife.
yeah. And for me, I was like, oh no, I have to wait till I'm 18 to get married. Damn it. Oh my God. Like, I was like trying to play into the pain they wanted to see from me when that was like a threat. But at the same time, it was like, oh my God, now I have to wait till I'm 18 instead of when I'm 16 to get married.
So you were kind of faking it, just
Yeah, well, and my mom knew I was like,
happy.
okay, tomato, tomato. Either way, I'm going to be married.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter if I'm married today or married tomorrow, the end result's the same. So, yeah.
So you were going to marry one of Paul's boys, and then you were kind of rebelling about it, or
What does that mean?
you were saying, no, no, I'm not going to marry him, or
I told my mom that. But then, like, other people came forward and, like, asked my parents if they could ask me to marry them. And I told my mom, I said, if you guys want me to say no to all these people, you tell them. Because have people talked to you about, like, what the coming forward looks like?
they ask your parents and
Yeah.
then get
So
from
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, from what I understand, they ask the parents and their parents, and then they say yes, and then they get to take you like to dinner or something.
Yeah, so like the guy talks to his parents, and then after they talk to his parents, then they talk to Paul, and then Paul says, yeah, you can go talk to the girl's parents. Then after they talk to the girl's parents, they talk to the girl. And so I told them, I said, that's like already like a humiliating process, like bearing your soul to all these people to get turned down. Don't make them like waste their money on taking me on a date. just so that they can bare their heart to me and I can be like, yeah, no. I said, you tell them. Let them save their money.
Because you knew that they just weren't going to let anything happen, but the person they told you.
Well, that, but also I knew I was going to leave the order. So I was like, I'm not doing that. And then my mom told my dad, but she's like, I can't tell, like my dad, Jesse. She's like, I can't tell Jesse. Michelle says, you guys tell him yourself because she's being a brat. She's like, I'm not going to tell him that.
So you were just planning on leaving.
Yeah.
You weren't like, maybe I'll stay. You weren't wondering if you were leaving. You weren't thinking about, oh, maybe I'll stay. Oh, is this right? You were just going to leave.
I was going to leave. There was a part of my brain that I was like, if all the stars align and things change, then I'll maybe think about staying. But 99.9%, I'm leaving. Whether I leave on Saturday or whether I leave on Wednesday, that's where it like depends. So I was like, because my grandma had issues with it, and then my mom had issues with things, and then I had issues with things. So I'm like, what are the chances that my kids are going to be like, oh, this is a lovely place? Yeah, they're not very high. So I'm like, either I can leave, because if I stayed in the order, I knew I was going to have kids. So I said either I could leave and cut that off at that point, and then my kids can grow up at least somewhat normal, or I can stay and have my kids have to think about like going through the pain of leaving. So I'm like, I don't want to have them have to do that.
I see. Okay, so did you get close to getting married?
But when I left, then my meeting with Paul was like the next Sunday.
What do you mean you're meeting with Paul?
To talk about like actually taking the steps to be like betrothed and like engaged and that stuff.
Do you have to meet Paul?
Yeah, Paul. You have to meet Paul before anybody gets engaged.
Oh, really?
So like, and when they take you to dinner, then you can tell them like yes, if it's like the person they say that you can. And then after that, then you go and have a meeting with both sets of parents and then Paul. And then Paul's like, okay, you guys ready to hold hands? And then he approves it. And then they have a picture with all of them standing outside of his office, is how they used to do it.
When you were growing up, did you like wear did you wear jeans most of the time, or did the women more wear skirts a lot?
No, we wore jeans.
Yeah.
I think like for church and dances, like we were supposed to wear dresses and skirts more, but like I still wore jeans a lot because I didn't like to wear
It was
dresses.
just pretty normal to wear jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think like when you asked earlier, like if I just felt insignificant because like my dad had so many kids, I didn't even know who my dad was until I was 8. And like before that, then I was like, well, someone's gonna come and this other parent, they're gonna come and make sure my life's not hell. And then they told me like, this is who your dad is, and I'm like, so I'm just gonna stay in hell? Is nobody coming to save me then? Because no one here is saving me, basically.
You mean you just didn't know he was your biological father?
Well, he was just Uncle Jesse.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he was just the guy that came to our house and got mad and started swinging. That was just who he was. And then I asked my mom, like, well, why do we call him Uncle Jesse? And she said, because he's Grandma's brother. And I said, okay, so he's Uncle Jesse, logically.
Oh, the Kingston. Oh, they hurt my brain.
But I think also, like, for you guys, was it normal to, like, a full house for us was, like, the mom and the kids? Was that, like, a full house for you guys? Or was a full house for you guys, like, mom, dad, multiple moms?
When I was growing up, I never lived in a house really with less than 10 women in there. and all their any kids they had.
But was it like normal for there to be like a father figure in your mind when you thought of like a family? Did you think of like dad, a lot of moms, and a million kids?
I never thought that there was some family without a dad,
Yeah.
ever.
For me, I didn't think that there was a family with a dad. I thought like there's some guy that comes around every so often, but that's not dad.
So you didn't know that a woman needed, you didn't know a woman really needed a man to have a family. You just thought it was a woman with her kids and that was a family, and then there was this guy that came once in a while, kind of.
Yeah.
Did you know they needed to procreate?
No, I didn't think about how they had to procreate. I just thought, hope there's another one.
Another kid.
Yep. Just another one rolling around. Another kid we have to take care of. Because it was like when my mom needed help, like we were the ones helping her. It wasn't like my dad or even like the other moms. It was like we're the ones helping her.
So it's kind of like having another cow to milk or something like that. Yeah.
Except we didn't get anything out of it.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We just didn't get any milk at the end. We still had to go buy our milk.
Yeah.
And pay for that.
Okay. You expected more out of these kids.
I mean, I didn't expect any more because they weren't given any more.
Yeah.
Or do I think logically it would have made more sense businessly? Like in a business way? Yeah. But then they started paying for their own stuff. Mm-hmm. And I had to pay for mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the process of you actually leaving? If it started when you were 8, mm-hmm. When's the first plan? When's the first, okay, I'm leaving?
Well, like when I was 8, then I thought like I said, I just didn't want to be beat anymore. So I was like, yeah, this isn't fun. I just like don't want to do this. And then like 2 of my brothers felt the same way. So we talked about like, okay, we're going to leave. But when I was in the order, then they said like, when I was like that age, they said anyone who leaves dies behind a garbage can. So then I was like, okay, which garbage can am I picking? Because that's where I'm going to go after I leave. I'm going to go behind the garbage can. I'm just going to sit there until I die. So I'm like, okay, so I picked out my garbage can.
So you actually believe that?
Yeah. I was like, I don't care what happens. I'm just not going to do this shit where I'm getting beat all the time. And then when I got older...
That's what I was trying to figure out. When you said, I just decided to leave when I was 8, mm-hmm. It just didn't quite make sense to me because it's like, okay, you're going to leave, but...
But then I didn't.
No. Like, I see that it's possible you could have had the insight to be like, okay, I'm going to go out and just make my own life and stuff, but... Yeah,
I didn't even have that insight, though.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, what do you mean by that? You're just going to leave? Yeah. So you're kind of... You had this belief that you die if you leave, kind of.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, feels like I'm going to die here because when they're beating me sometimes and they say, I don't care if you die. And I'm like, at this point, neither do I. But you won't go through with it. So if I have to go behind a garbage can and wait till that happens, then I'll do that. I'll just wait. So then when I got older, then I was like, and like went to public school, then I'm like, okay, so there is life after, like outside of the order. And I started like learning more about people who had left the order. And then I would be told like, none of them are happy. And I'm like, well, they gotta be happier than this bullshit because they're not back. So then I like started planning on how I would leave and thinking about like what I wanted. And then when I was about like around the October of 2016, when I got my like last like really, really bad beating, then I reached out to and I had already like been saying like, now I'm 16, so now I can take it more serious about leaving. Because if I tried to leave before that, then they would just send me back or send me to foster care or something. And I'm like, I've seen people who have thought about doing that and they just get brought back. So then I went and started talking to people online and created the fake Facebook profile with a name that was like, it wasn't an order person name, because they have order people who like look up all these teenagers' names to make sure they don't have Facebook, so that if they do, then they can get in trouble. And then I would like send a friend request to all these like people who had left the order, so it was obvious I was someone from the order, but it was not my real name, so I wouldn't get caught. And then I started talking to them and asking them like about leaving, what that would look like. And then I got in touch with like the people from Escaping Polygamy, because like these other people that were supposed to help me were taking too long, basically. And then they asked me when I wanted to leave, and my mom was pregnant, and I said, I gotta wait till she has the baby, because her last kid she tried to have was a stillborn and she almost died during labor. So I'm like, I want to be there for that, to make sure she's like okay. And then we had to go to California to buy my dad toys. So I said, I have to help my mom with that. So I stayed for that. And then my dad was having a family outing, and I said, I want to see everyone one last time at the family outing. And then I left like a week or two later.
Isn't it such? What was the mental trip like when you realized there's like life beyond the order? Did you already kind of realize it, or?
Because we would go to like Walmart sometimes, and I would
Right.
like see other people.
Yeah.
But it was just like, these guys are miserable. They're not happy because they're
Yeah.
not living in the kingdom of God. And then also like, it's worse if you are born in the order and then you choose to leave than if you were never born in the order, because then you're not like turning your back on the Lord, basically. So I was like, okay, well, those people seem happier than us, so there must be something positive out there. But even if like at the end of the day I just like die, then I've been planning that since I was 8, so I don't care. I'm like, if that's what they have to offer, it's quicker than what you guys are doing to me. You guys are saying you'll kill me, but you don't. So it was like very depressing mindset. And then when I started to like realize like I was going to have a life outside of the order, then I was just like kind of trying to think of like the logical side of like, so if I need help, who do I go to? Because my mom's not gonna help me. Like normal people go to their parents, and normal people go to like their family. So like, where am I supposed to go? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like when I started realizing I was gonna have like a life outside of the order, then I started thinking about like those things. But I'm like, well, even in the order, I had to get used to like just being able to depend on myself, keep things to myself, just handle it alone. So I guess I'm just gonna keep doing that.
So when you left, did you leave like in this kind of crazy show style way?
Well, I was on the show.
Yeah. But was it like they were coming in to rescue you type of a thing on their show, or?
Well, they couldn't do a whole lot because I was a minor.
Oh,
So they couldn't even like pull in the driveway. They couldn't lift any of my stuff. And I told them,
that's fine.
like, I didn't have, like, I did have to turn off the cameras, and everyone would get like a notification. So it was more, I guess, worrisome. Because also, I was my dad's first kid that was leaving by themselves. It's like one of my dad's wives, she like left and took all of her kids when they were little. But I was my dad's first kid that was like successfully leaving on their own. So he got like really mad. And like even Amanda, after she found out I left, she was like, Michelle Michaels left? There's no way she left. And I'm like, well, here I am. The little cult girl that was doing all dad's shit. So yeah.
So you were kind of seen as like your dad's person that was helping him, and
Well, because people thought like my mom was a favorite wife, and I always say like she wasn't a favorite wife. She would just do all of his shit. Like she was just his assistant.
hmm
And he would talk to her more about different things, but that's because like his car was in her name. So if it needed an oil change, then she had to go do it. It's like she wasn't driving his car because she was a favorite wife. She was driving his car because she was getting the oil changed. So it was just like, but to other people not in my dad's family, and even people in my dad's family, like it looked like she was a favorite wife. And it looked like I was one of his favorite kids because he would always talk to me. And it was like, no, when he would talk to me, he would tell me, go get me these toys. And I said, I got you, basically. I'll be back. Here's your stuff.
okay. What you were asking me earlier, why FLDS people don't get more tattoos.
Yeah.
So why, if you're in the Kingston, you can't get a tattoo, can you?
No, you're not supposed to.
But do some, like, if you do, is there a punishment or?
I don't think very many people do. But like when I was in the order, then I was like, I'm gonna get a tattoo. Even if I like once in the blue moon chance I'm gonna stay, she can get it in a place that I can hide it. And it was just because I wanted one. Like I didn't want one for any type of reason. I just was like, I want one.
Yeah. So why do so many Kingstons that leave just get a lot of tattoos versus the FLDS?
Well, like for me, I got a tattoo because I thought it looked cool. And I got another one because I thought it would look cool. And I got another one because I thought that one looked cool too.
Okay.
So like, how come you guys don't?
I don't know.
Do you guys like think they're bad? Or
Well,
just
we
like
did
bad
in
for
the
you?
we did in the cult.
Yeah, but you say you don't follow your dad anymore. So
No.
where's your tattoo?
Oh my God. So if I don't have a tattoo, does that mean I follow my dad still?
On some stuff, it sounds like. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I was
you're
just
bullying
curious.
me into getting a tattoo.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
I
wondering.
know.
Because, like, just looking overall, there's not a whole lot of FLDS people who leave and get tattoos, I feel like. But, like, a lot of Kingstons, I feel like they do.
Yeah.
It was just, like, a curious thing.
I
Because
think
there's, like, normal people who don't get tattoos. Like, people who weren't from the FLDS or the Kingstons.
you mean they're from the Mormon Church.
No, there's people who are not from the Mormon Church, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there is.
So I think, like some people just don't have an interest in them. So I didn't know if like that was something like for you, or if you were just like felt any type of way about them.
I just felt like, I didn't know if I was, going to be making a bad decision getting some permanent, like, marking on my skin.
Yeah, see, like that makes sense. But like
Like that's,
clearly I didn't do that.
that's why I haven't got one. Like, I've thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh, I just, like, I'm probably going to regret this. So I didn't get it.
Yeah, no, and I know a lot of people who say there's not anything I can think of that I would want on my body forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's people who are like, well, I think about getting something and then I change my mind after a certain amount of time and I'm like worried about getting it because my track history basically is like changed my mind about what tattoo I want to get. So like it makes sense. I was just curious to hear like your perspective of it after believing it was so bad from
Yeah.
FLDS.
When I was kind of out of the FLDS, but I was still kind of in,
Mm-hmm.
my brother sent me a picture. He had got a tattoo of like a sword on his arm,
Mm-hmm.
and I was so grossed out.
Do you still feel like that?
Yeah.
About like it's gross for tattoos?
Yeah, I was super grossed out.
But you still feel like that today?
No, I don't feel like that today. I'm just saying, like...
Yeah.
But I do feel like if one of my sisters sent me some big tattoo along their arm or something,
Mm-hmm.
I would be like, why? What are you,
Yeah.
I feel like even today I would kind of be like, my first reaction would be like, oh, why did you do that?
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah, no.
It might be like it's so looked down on that whereas maybe the Kingstons are a little bit more exposed to it.
I feel like the Kingstons, like, I know my family definitely feel like that with me. Like, with the tattoos I have.
Oh, do they?
They're definitely like, what the fuck? Why would you do that?
Uh-huh.
And I just say, because I thought it was cute, don't you? And they tell me no. And I say, cool, then don't look at it.
Yeah. Well, I don't really feel that way towards people with tattoos anymore.
Yeah.
But just like if somebody I really know closely gets a big tattoo or something, I'm like kind of grossed out still.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah. So you said you left like around 2020? That's when you started?
That's when I started. I would say I fully left by 2023.
So you're still like kind of more fresh out.
Yeah.
So that's probably why like it's still kind of weird to you.
Yeah. But, I used to also look at tattoos as like probably a sign of the devil in some ways. Like I would see those big biker men with a bunch of tattoos, and I literally thought those guys must be like the worst kind of people, The
You didn't look
bikers with...
Did you look at your dad and think that?
Of course not.
Just kidding.
No way.
Because I think like a lot of bikers, they like are all about like protecting kids and
I
stuff.
know.
So it's just funny like how we were taught about things. About like this is what a perfect guy looks like, or like a man of God.
Well,
and it's like so not.
Yeah, well, like in 2021, I was thinking a little bit outside the box. I was driving down the road and there was this biker dude, and he was driving a truck, but I could tell he was a biker dude. I passed him on the highway, and he looked so mad, And I passed him. He didn't have any problems with me passing him or anything, but he had this kind of crazy hair. He had all these big tattoos, and then he also, like, his truck was kind of jacked and stuff, and I was just a little bit intimidated.
That's also like helps me. And that's why, like, with my tattoos, I feel like I intimidate people.
Oh,
and I'm like, good.
But what was crazy, what blew my mind is I stopped up at the next gas station, and he stopped too. And he came over to me and he's just asking me how I was doing. And then I passed him like in the gas station and he was asking me some more questions. I was like, what the fuck? I thought you wanted to kill me. Even when I was that old, I like had this idea, like this dude.
Well, I think like even older people still do that though. Like even my dad, because I remember him talking in like girls' meetings, and he would say things like, he looks really like rough, like this person looks really like rough and scruffy and just like they're out to hurt people. And it's like basically what you're describing. It's just like those assumptions, basically.
Yeah.
You just assume all these things about them. And it's like, well, they should really be assuming these things about you, Dad, because you're the one actually ready to kill people.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a mind fuck for me.
Yeah.
It taught me how much I just assume, and even my whole nervous system will like tense up and react to something that's not even a threat. I just think it is.
Yeah, and I think like I definitely was like that for a long time. I feel like I'm better now, but because I've like been gone for so long and have had to basically step out of like my comfort zone. And I think like that's also with like when it comes to dating, I feel like when you date people from like the same kind of culture as you, then it could be like being scared of stepping out of your comfort zone. But I also know that at the same time though, if you date people who have the same like background as you, they probably have the same beliefs as you. So, like, they believe in not going swimming on Sunday or not getting tattoos. So that can be, like, good and bad, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. When I was first leaving the FLDS, I was dating a FLDS girl.
Mm-hmm.
One of my brothers said to me, "Oh, you'll get over that."
Did you get over it?
I did. But I took it really offensively at the time. I was like, dude, this is love. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, they vowed to me, like, we will not date or marry an FLDS girl.
Yeah.
That's one of the things they would tell me, and I didn't understand why. But I kind of get it now. I think most FLDS people, they end up marrying each other because it's so difficult to get out and get your nervous system to a point where you can talk to other people and just associate and get to that level of comfort that you can date.
Yeah, I think, like, that's definitely understandable to a point. I think with, like, the Kingstons, we all know we're related.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we're, like, not going to do that. But also at the same time, it's like, because it sounds like the FLDS was more about, like, equality on some levels of, like, the wives are all equal.
They were supposed to be. They weren't, but they were supposed to be.
But, like, in the order, it was like, there's certain people who are definitely better than others.
And you just know it.
Yeah. And then also, like, just, like, the anger and how you deal with that anger and the frustration and just, like, being assholes, basically. Then it's not, like, there's not comfort in that, if that makes sense. So, like, we're not going to want to date someone from the Kingstons because if they get mad, they'll probably beat the shit out of us.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Like,
no, that makes
that's
sense.
like an extreme example.
Okay.
But it's like there's no comfort.
Okay.
But like for you guys, there was some level of comfort.
Yeah.
Because there was some level of care and love.
So you're saying
and like helping each other.
You're saying it's easier for us to date each other, ex-FLDS to date each other than ex-Kingstons.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying it's easier because I've never been in your shoes.
Yeah.
But I think like that's probably why there's more successful relationships that way.
Okay.
But that's just like me understanding like that's outside looking in. Because I think like even with Kingstons, like I said, beside the fact that we're all related in 9 different ways, we also just like, I feel like in some ways it could also stunt your growth.
Yes.
After leaving. Because like you can only grow as fast as like your partner is. Because if you're like with someone who like loves Warren still, then the other person's going to be like repulsed by that. It's just going to be like really hard to navigate.
Well, it stunts your growth because it keeps you from stepping out. I have a sister that is dating somebody that is kind of in and kind of out. And she wants to do things, but a lot of times he doesn't want her to, and so she doesn't. And she's just closed off kind of from, really, to me, from my perspective, it's like you still have a serious cult mindset kind of.
Yeah.
But you're stepping out of it, but because of who you're with, you're kind of staying in it.
And you're still kind of isolating yourself.
Yeah, and it's not like he's bad, it's not like you're bad, it's just you're in a fucking cult still.
Yeah, you're in that cult mindset and you don't have people that are forcing you out of it.
And you actually have somebody that's kind of keeping you in it. So, like,
and when you try to like let go of that, like you said, like she tries to go do something, you're trying to like let go of that. But then they're like, nope, we're staying here because this is our comfort level.
But another reason it stunts your growth is because you already have a nervous system that says don't go out and be social, don't go out and do all these things. And then you have another person that also says the same thing. And so together you just sit in the house and be quiet and watch your TV or something.
Yeah.
And fuck. And that's it. You know?
Well. No, I think that I obviously some people have made it work. But I think, like, for me, that's why I could not have, like, dated someone that was too closely related to, like, that cult lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying just so everybody knows, I'm not saying if you've done that. If you've dated and successfully married another FLDS person, then good for you. I'm not condemning your relationship in any way.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it, but I also wasn't born in FLDS, so.
Yeah. How's your dating life been since leaving? Like, what's your general thoughts on dating? Do you date successfully, or
what does
what does that
even mean?
Is that a rude question?
I don't feel like if you ask that to someone else, then they would necessarily be happy you asked them that.
So it's kind of a rude question.
I don't necessarily think it's I wouldn't necessarily call it a rude question, but I don't know if like it's a normal question people ask. If that makes sense.
Well, I'm asking because for one, you said you were super emotionally disconnected.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
Because.
Well, I don't think the reason why you're asking, like, I think it can still be a weird question whether or not you feel your reason for asking it is justified. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to answer it, but I'm just telling you.
Well, do you feel like I shouldn't have asked it?
I think to someone freshly out of a cult, you probably shouldn't ask that, yeah.
Ask how your dating life is.
Well, you didn't ask how your dating life is. You said, do you date successfully?
Well, I guess I could rephrase it. I'm just wondering, like,
yeah.
Are you comfortable dating? Are you messed up? Kind of like I was definitely confused about dating in some real sense. So I guess I'm asking more like, how's it going in the sense of, is it working out, or was your mind fucked up in some way that was making it not work out?
Yeah, I think like when I was with my kid's dad, I definitely was very fresh out of the order. So I was like already not in the right mindset, but it was just also there wasn't necessarily emotions there. Mm-hmm. I think at one point there became emotions, but it was like not a healthy dynamic, I guess you could say. Like me and him get along now because we don't live together. We're not together. And like even my daughter notices it. She's like, you guys are nicer to each other when you guys are not living together. Mm-hmm. But I think also just in general, it's yeah, when I was with him, I was very just like emotionally not present because I didn't know how to be. Because I think that was a big thing too when I first left. I was like, how much am I supposed to count on somebody? Because when I went into like the world, people are like, well, you can count on somebody and you can like lean on someone emotionally, or you can like lean on them, ask them for help. And I was like, for what? So you can turn around and stab me in the back? Because that was like, the logic wasn't there for me. It was like, logically, it doesn't make sense for me to be vulnerable because then I'm giving you ammo to shoot me. And that just sounds stupid. Like, that's how I saw emotions. Mm-hmm. Whether it was with my kid's dad or just like people in life. So I was just like, I didn't understand what that looked like. So I couldn't do that.
Did you have the idea that you needed to date somebody and marry them, or date somebody and be like longer term with them? Like, okay, this is kind of it. Or did you kind of have the idea that, I can date a bunch of different people and see what works out?
I think when I first left, I wasn't even necessarily thinking of dating. Because when I left, I was 17. And I had to get 2 jobs the same week I left. So I could show the judge I could support myself, so they would grant my emancipation. So I was focused on like that. And then I did date, but I didn't know like how to do it necessarily. And then me and my kid's dad, like we started becoming more serious, but I still didn't know like what that looked like. But I did feel like you do date someone longer term, and yeah, you probably end up marrying them. So then when I had my daughter, I was like, okay, well, this is who I'm gonna be marrying because we have a kid now. So then it was, then we had another kid, and I'm like, well, this is my family basically. This is who I'm gonna marry because I've already created a life with him. And then, like I was saying earlier, then I started thinking, well, if we get married, then I can stay with him for this long and then we can get divorced. And I'm like, well, why am I going to spend the money on a wedding so I can spend the money on a divorce? We're like not going to be together forever.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was like kind of that thought in the back of my mind of like, what is my family going to think? Because they already have thoughts because I had a kid before I got married. But then I realized so did my mom. She didn't get legally
Really?
married.
Oh, legally. Okay.
So I'm like, who gives a shit? Not us, I guess. No, and then I just like, I did want to be with somebody longer term just because like I didn't want to build with someone just to like keep starting over, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But then I also like through being with my kid's dad and different people, I'm like, well, if I'm building something and I know it's not going to work with them, I shouldn't stay just because I've already built this much with them. Like, if I'm not happy, they're not happy, then we shouldn't just keep going just for the sake of keeping it going. So I feel like me and my kid's dad did that a little bit.
I think that's where logic comes in to help emotions, you know?
Yeah.
Like, stop.
Yeah. Because I did think, like, and I had a relationship after my kid's dad, and I was like, okay, this is going to be serious. But then, like, we just didn't really mesh well. And he wanted things, and then he wanted things, like, he had a hard time with me being raised in the order. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know what you want me to do about that.
He had a hard time he had a problem with that?
Yeah, he said he struggled with it. And I'm like, okay, congrats. Like, I don't know what you want me to say.
Mm-hmm. But
that was the thing too with dating. I think that can be hard, is knowing when to tell them that.
Oh yeah, that's hard.
Because it's like, you don't necessarily need to tell them like day one, but also if you get too far down the road and then you're like, oh yeah, by the way, and then they're gonna be like, well, what the fuck? You didn't tell me all these months. What else are you keeping from me?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like trying to find that balance of like, hey, guess what? My dad has kids with his sister.
Yeah.
When do you drop that bomb?
Yeah. I know it's hard for me too, because I feel like if somebody finds out too soon, they're all interested, but
not for the right reasons.
Yeah, and then it always like they get scared.
Yeah.
Now, if they get to know you really well, and then you tell them, they're like, what the hell? Like, I didn't know somebody from there was like you.
I know.
This is crazy.
Yeah, I think it also can be easier for girls, though. Because it's like, well, you clearly didn't like that life, so you left. But then for guys, it's like, so do you think you're supposed to have multiple wives?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably the first, like, assumption that comes. But also, like, because with my name, I was on Escaping Polygamy. So, like, when I would be dating, then I'm like, if I tell them my name, they can look me up and they can find all this out. So I wouldn't tell, like, my name until I met with them in person, until I could, like, kind of give them a little bit at a time to be like, hey, guess what?
Yeah.
So it was just like, I think it could be hard sometimes.
Yeah, I was talking with some of the other Kingston girls a little while ago, and we were talking about starting conversations with strangers.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Oh, it's easy. We just tell them, we're from this cult." And I'm like, "Yeah, I hate doing that because,
Well, I think your guys' is more stigmatized, and like people know yours more. Because like even when people say like we say we come from polygamous cult, they're like, oh, like the long dresses, and we're like, no.
hmm
So we can give them the information that we want them to have, but for you guys, it's like, oh yeah,
yeah,
you tell them your name, and they're like, oh, like Warren, and
yeah,
you're like, yeah,
yeah, he's my dad."
yeah, I miss him. I think about him fondly sometimes.
uh,
Yeah, but there are times like when we're all together too, then we do talk about things like in general, and then we've like seen people overhear our conversations and be like, what the fuck?
uh-huh.
These guys are fucking insane. And we're just like laughing, talking about childhood memories, and they're like, should we call the police or something? Because these guys are psychotic. But I think it's like we've seen that reaction so much. So sometimes we do that. We do go up to them and be like, oh, like make a joke about your parents loving you. Oh, I wouldn't know what that feels like. And they're like, what the fuck are we doing here? Don't say that to people.
Yeah,
But so I think like we definitely do that sometimes. But I'm like there's times I don't go up and start a conversation with that. I just go up with, I mean, it depends on the scenario.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Dating's hard, but I think it is for everybody. That's the hard thing
Mm-hmm.
about it is not only is it strange in our cult, but it's strange out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's hard to be able to say, like, when you said, are you able to date successfully? Then it's like, I think even people who weren't born and raised in a
Oh,
cult, then it's like, what does successful look like?
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Because also it makes it sound like if you get with someone and then break up, then like that's not successful.
Oh,
But it's like, no, I learned more about myself through that relationship. I learned more about like what I need and what I'm not willing to like compromise on, basically.
yeah. Do you ever, like, after you left the cult, or even now,
Mm-hmm.
do you ever just feel like I just need like some better human connection? Um, I don't know if I would describe it as loneliness or just like, yeah, you need some sort of human connection. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah, I feel like now I'm definitely able to like be more in tune with my emotions and like understand them more because like when I was emotionally disconnected out of the order, then I was just like, so where's the logic in life of like what's the next step basically,
hmm
and not what makes me happy. It was more of just like what's the next step. The next step is like to get married. The next step is to like get my degree. The next step is like to get a job in the field that I'm going to school in. But now it's more like, oh, this does make me happy. This is something that I enjoy. But that's the thing though, growing up, the reason why I wasn't like thinking about those things was not just because if I was going to feel an emotion in the order, the emotion was probably going to be pain, sadness, anger, frustration, like all those negative ones. Like I felt those ones a lot more than I felt positive ones. I still felt the positive ones, but it was just like a sad life to live. So that's why like it was not hard to shut it off or like turn it down or whatever or numb that. But also like understanding that if you say like this is my favorite, then they said, okay, well you're not going to have that then because we're in control. And if you think that you can have what you want, then you think you can have what you want. And that is like endless.
that's a big one. Yeah.
So it was like, well, when people would ask me, even after I left, when people would say, like, what's your favorite food? Then I had a hard time saying it because it was like, well, if I say it, then it's going to be like, it's either we're only going to have this when you're around, or we're never gonna have this. It's like it felt like it had to be all or nothing, because that's what it was in the order.
Yeah.
It was like so black and white. You were either doing everything perfect and everything right, or you were doing something wrong.
Do you have eating problems? As
Which
far
one?
as I was talking to Amanda the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and she was telling me like a lot of us from the Kingstons, like we don't know what we like as far as food goes. We don't know what we should buy when we go to the store. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I if I I guess she was saying it was kind of from the cold or something. I didn't quite understand, but we had talked about it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
She was saying, do you know what you like? I was like, yeah, I know exactly what I like. When I go to the store, like there might be a lot of options, making it hard for me to choose sometimes, but I know exactly what ice cream I like.
Mm-hmm.
When I go to a restaurant, I know exactly what I'm gonna enjoy. I know
Mm-hmm.
what steak I like. I know, these odd snacks I like. Are you that way? Do you know what food you like, or do you know what she's talking about?
Yeah, I think like, well, when I go order stuff with Amanda, then like I think she knows what she likes on to a point. But it's like if we go to the store, we're gonna buy what we're used to buying. But then it's like sitting with it and saying like, do I even like that? Or is that just what I know?
Oh, I see.
Just like with like tattoos. Does that really bother me, or is that just what I was taught?
Oh, I see.
So it's like, okay, what am I going to enjoy? Should I venture out of something that I've never tried before? Or should I just go with what I have always done because I know I like it? Because like that unknown, even if it's like not very high risk, it's like, okay, well, am I going to order this and not even like it? And I'm still going to be hungry at the end of the day. So then it's just like staying within those certain bounds of the same thing.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
think that's what she was talking
oh,
about.
okay. Yeah, like I've got this sandwich at Wendy's
Mm-hmm.
from the time I was very first went there
Mm-hmm.
when I was in the FLDS, and I still get the same one now.
Yeah, and it's
Same
like,
one.
but I think like if you venture out on certain things, like if you stay within that and only that, then it's like hard to get out of that.
Yeah.
But once you started to get out of that, then it can be like a little bit easier. But sometimes it's like, you know what, I just want to go with the tried and true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
But then
makes
there's
sense.
people who are like, no, this is the best kind. And it's like, okay, but I don't like the stuff in that though. So it's like trying to decide, like, should I try it because this person said it's really good, even though I know I might not like it? Or should I just go with what I like?
Yeah. Do you feel like you've got life figured out now that you've been gone for like 9 years? Like, is life kind of figured out to you? Do you,
Oh, 100%. Just kidding.
like, as far as your belief system and just, I mean, I know you kind of have to like stabilize when you first leave,
Mm-hmm.
but then do you feel like you've got the rest kind of figured out to some degree?
I think to some degree, yes. But I don't think I have like everything figured out. I think I'm still going to be learning about myself because that's like how life works. But I definitely think like in between like my kid's dad and the relationship I had after that, and then even the relation after that relationship and the one I'm in now, like I learned a lot about myself, of like understanding what I want and who I am, because I think that was the thing, was just trying so hard to please somebody that I needed to like spend some time by myself to be like, okay, what makes me happy outside of giving to other people.
Yeah.
So I think I definitely learned more about myself and learned more about like the world and how like I feel like I fit in the world. But I think like there's still more for me to learn.
Do you do, uh, do you have certain hobbies that you find fun? Just like dancing or just anything. Like going out to do something.
Yeah, I think like it depends on what the goal is. Like, is the goal to like be stress free and take my mind off things, of like the stress of work, or is the goal to like just go like on a hike and see like the scenery or whatever. But yeah, there's like hobbies, but it depends on like what I'm looking for.
I don't know. I guess the hobbies that bring you peace or something. The hobbies
Yeah.
that make you feel like comfortable or relieved or whatever.
Yeah, there's like games that I play with my kids, or like going on hikes, stuff like that, going swimming with my kids, doing stuff like that. Or even like, I don't know if you've seen them, like the little diamond things where you put like diamond, a certain color of diamond on the picture and like makes a picture.
Oh, I haven't.
Yeah, I've done those things. They take forever. You have to be, I don't know, forces you to be at peace. But yeah, there's different things. Do you feel like you are able to do those things? Like be at peace?
I like hiking. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
I feel like it puts me at peace almost always.
Yeah.
I did it when I first started leaving. I started hiking a lot, and that's where I kind of thought everything through. I still like hiking a lot.
Yeah.
You know. But no, I have a lot of things I do. Like,
Yeah.
I play some games too.
Like,
But
play with your toys.
You know, I don't have that kind of toys, but I mean, I guess I have my kind of toys.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have life figured out?
No. That's why I do a podcast. I want to get everybody else's opinion so that I can.
So we're supposed to be bullying you on the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like.
Just kidding.
I feel like you're super honest type of a person. I appreciate that. You know.
Do you feel like you do the podcast to see how people's minds work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I try to keep in my mind like the emotional empathy or the emotional consideration, but sometimes I forget. Like sometimes I ask them a question because I'm curious, not because I'm thinking about how, you know, that I'm not trying to be sensitive. I try to be sensitive, but sometimes I forget that that's one of the goals.
Yeah.
You know, but it's not because I'm trying to be mean, you know.
Yeah.
But also, one of the kind of weird things is, like everybody from my family or something, they could tell some sob story where everybody's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and to me, I'm just like, "Look, you can tell your sob story, but I'm gonna laugh."
Yeah.
Type of a deal, because it's like there's how many people are dying today? Why are we even here? We should be like at their funeral or something. It's like, no. I don't know. At some point, it's like, I can't just sit here and be sad.
Yeah. If I sat here and was sad about everything there is to be sad about, I would never be happy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, and I think, like, I have said things like that to people because they're like, what about the starving kids in Africa? And I'm like, okay, have you been starved? I have. Should we move on or should we keep talking about it?
It's like, are you going to go buy them some dinner or should we
do something about something we could do something about?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I've definitely like had my moments when I've said that, like the first couple years when I was out, and people were just like, yeah, I don't think normal people say that. And I was like, okay, so I'm not normal then. Like, move on. Next. Tell me something I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I've been living not normal. But then now I'm more like, okay, I understand more of like trying to be sensitive towards different people and understanding like some people do need that emotional comfort. Some people want like some emotional acknowledgement but not emotional comfort. And then some people are just like, well, we're here to shoot the shit. Are we going to shoot the shit or what?
Well, that's the interesting thing. Like, it's never the cult people complaining about how I'm like, oh, you weren't sensitive to my emotions.
Yeah.
It's never the cult people. It's never the people that have been through it. It's always just other people. It's people that have been outside of the cult. They're like, you're not being sensitive. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Like I'm willing to consider that. But
Yeah.
it never comes from people that are in the cult. They all are good with it, you know.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely something to consider, and that I like took into account after a certain amount of time, was like understanding like different people's perspectives, because that helped me to be able to see like and be able to read people better. Because when I was in the order, like I had to kind of be able to read people and what emotion they were in.
Mm-hmm.
But then like now being able to understand like the person outside of just like, okay, what emotion are they going to currently fire at, basically.
Yeah.
So then I had to be like, okay, this person does need more like sensitivity. But also, where is that balance between like understanding their sensitivity and what they want and need, but also being able to be myself?
Mm-hmm.
Because like I wasn't a dick the whole time today, was I?
You up? You weren't upset?
I said I wasn't a dick to you the whole time today, was I?
Not the whole time, but
Yeah, see? So I can still be me.
that's good. I like when you're a dick, though.
Yeah, well, good.
It's
Did you
funner
learn
that
anything?
way. Yeah, it's funner that way.
No, I think I definitely do get labeled as blunt.
Do you?
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. Because if you're going to sugarcoat everything, then you're going to get some cavities.
Okay, I don't think I've ever heard that one.
Well, is it wrong?
No, I like it.
Yeah, sugarcoating just gives you cavities. So I'm not here to do that.
So are you an emotional person at all anymore, or nowadays?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely show more care and like affection, but I am still very guarded with who I show it to. But like, I think if you ask certain people, then they think that I'm just like not super emotional and more like logical and blunt. But then like people who are close to me, then they do say that I don't know, that I have more emotions than I let people see.
Yeah. Well, you know when somebody almost dies,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe you're a kid and you're like, oh my word, that was so scary.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe you almost die.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes a little more closer, and you see other people being sad about it, and you're kind of like, okay, let's
move on.
Yeah, let's move on because,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was crazy. I almost died. Well, I kind of feel like that's how emotions are for me.
Mm-hmm.
When I see somebody going through some emotions, I think more of an existence they're in, or
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, they're going through this. I like look at it. I'm like, that's not everybody. How can I help them?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not in a way that I used to be where I looked at it, I'm like, oh, that's so scary, I don't know what to do. It's more like, okay, how do we solve this problem, kind of a deal.
Yeah.
And I don't really know what else to do.
Yeah, I think for me, there was a long time after the order that I was like, when people would have, I think I felt it and saw it more when I would go through something and people were like more sad than I was.
Oh, uh-huh.
And I was like, okay, but I'm not that sad about it. So like, you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And I had to understand more of like how each person feels emotions. And like one of them's not necessarily wrong or right. Like there was a time frame where I was like, okay, but if I'm not sad about it and it's happened to me, then like you shouldn't be. But it's like, no, they take that in differently. It took me a long time to like understand that. But now I'm able to, like I said, like be able to see and be like, okay, you're taking that differently. That doesn't mean, like, I could still care when you're experiencing that, even if I don't feel like you should be, like, it's not that deep.
Yeah.
Like, I can still have empathy and emotion, even if I don't feel like it's as deep as you're making it.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. It's
But
like,
I do have emotions.
so you're saying, you're like, okay, while you process what I went through, I'll be patient with you.
Yeah, basically. While you process what I have already processed,
Okay.
I'll be here.
Well, that ties into what we were saying earlier about meeting new people, like dating and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you tell them, "Oh, I'm Warren Jeff's son," or "I'm from the Kingston cult." Well,
Mm-hmm.
they have to process that, and then you have to convince them that it's not a bad thing,
Yeah,
and
and it's not
then
the end of the world.
yeah, and then they have to get over like that association or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and you've already processed all that.
Yeah, well, and like my ex, it was like, okay, well, I don't know if I can get past that. And I'm like, I don't know how you don't get past that. Because, like, it's over. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Because, and I don't know how to help you. Because, like, nothing's changing. You were fine yesterday. You're not fine today. So, like, what the fuck? Like, that sounds like a you problem.
Yeah.
But it has everything to do with me.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how to help you.
Yeah.
So I think like that was a little bit of like more of a mind fuck because I'm like, okay, so I can't go and change that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I'm calling my dad up every day and being like, hey, who did you beat today? I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Like I don't have a relationship with my dad. So I don't know how you're supposed to get over it, but like figure it out, I guess, or don't.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, I guess you're not going to get over it and I'm not going to wait around. But then there were also people that I was like, they were talking about their life. And I do say things that are blunt, like when I'm dating too.
Okay.
Because like there was
I
someone.
can see that.
There was someone, and I don't think, not everybody thinks it's a good time. But like, there's someone that I was like, they were talking about their life and they were talking about like how they have all these family and all these pets growing up, and I was like, so you guys had a farm and an orphanage? And they were like, what the fuck? And I'm like, okay, but like that was a serious question. It's like, are you gonna answer it or not? And then they said, yeah, pretty much. And I'm like, okay, now we can move on. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I was dead serious.
Uh-huh.
And they realized that.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't realize it.
Don't realize what?
That you're doing something that's going to kill the fun.
Well, it was funny. Like, we kept laughing.
Yeah, but...
We're still together today.
Oh. Well, I guess you better keep doing it.
Yeah. Well, I realized, like, after I said it, I was like, oh, was that not, like, the nicest thing to say? But, like, in my mind, that's how my mind made the connection. Because they were like, okay, there's all these kids. They have different dads. And we had all these animals. And I'm like, all I'm hearing is a farm and an orphanage. All we need is fucking zoo animals.
Mm-hmm.
And the aquarium. And I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I'm glad they were able to laugh.
No, I say a lot of blunt things, but don't realize.
Mm-hmm.
I usually don't say blunt things if I realize they're blunt.
Why?
Because I was trying to be sensitive.
Well, I think you can say blunt things, but you also don't have to be a dick about it. Sometimes like, blunt doesn't necessarily mean you're being a dick.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people in the cult,
Mm-hmm.
even when I was there, they've always told me, yeah, you say things that are basically being a dick
Mm-hmm.
your whole life. Like, that's how you've always been. And I was like, well, I wasn't trying to be that way.
Yeah.
I was trying to be sensitive, but I didn't know that was a dick move.
Yeah. No, I think like people go through that, but also if you're raised in such like a closed off environment, you're only going to know those things. So it's like you can only be sensitive to the things that you know about. Like I can't be sensitive about like you having someone close to you who died if I don't know that. Because then I may say some crazy shit about like, oh yeah, this person just dies, making a joke about it. But if you don't know about it, then you can't be aware of it.
Yeah, true. Well, is there anything important in your story that we skipped over? Like,
no, my story's not important.
So you don't consider...
I'm just kidding. It's just how you said that. Yeah, I just think...
Did I say it wrong?
It's not necessarily wrong or right. I just think like the wording was funny. So is there anything important that you have to say? That's kind of how it came off.
No, I was wondering, like, we talked about the kid dying.
Is there anything big in your story that we skipped over? Yeah. Is maybe how you wanted to word it.
Okay. Yeah.
See, it's like a lesson today.
Yeah. I'm learning vocabulary.
You didn't know those words?
I did. I'm just learning how to say them appropriately.
I'm just kidding. No, I think, yeah, we talked a lot about all the different stages of my life. I guess we were like on the run for a long time. Around the time, wait, what year did your dad go to jail?
2006.
Oh yeah, we were on the run in 2008, 2007 and 2008.
You were on the run?
Yeah, trying to get birth certificates.
What do you mean?
Because our parents are related. Like my parents are related. So they were worried about like getting birth certificates and showing like polygamy and all that fun stuff. Showing the incest and the polygamy.
Do you have a birth certificate?
Yeah.
Is it true?
No. Not even here today. No, where it says I was born is wrong, and it has a fake dad's name.
Who's your dad?
On my birth certificate?
I mean, you don't have to tell me.
Are you asking my birth certificate? This is Stephen Michaels.
Is that a real person?
Well, my mom has a kid named Stephen now. Her last kid.
And that's who?
But it says Stephen James Michaels with a fake birthday.
And that's not a real person?
Nope. That's what I told my mom. I said, you named your second girl after you. But it took you 12 kids to name one after my dad.
That's funny.
But she, like, my real dad, then she named one of her, like, multiple of her kids after my dad. But, like, on my birth certificate, she didn't name any of her kids until her last one after that one. And I was like, why aren't you selfish? She didn't think it was very funny.
So where does is Michael's your mother's maiden name or something?
No, it's just a made-up last name.
I see. Kind of like Steve.
What the fuck does what the fuck does that mean?
Wait, didn't you say it was Steve on your...
Steven?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I got it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like last names still.
Well, I was saying that Michael's kind of like Steve.
Yeah. I think my mom changed her last name. My mom did end up changing her last name legally, though.
To Michael.
Michael's, yeah.
Yeah.
Not all of them do.
So, legally, she's kind of married to Steve.
No, because there's no marriage certificate.
I know.
But, so, I'm my mom's 5th kid. She only did the fake dad's name on the first 5, though. Oh. Like, after me, she stopped. She just left it blank.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Probably because it became more acceptable to do that.
Yeah. Well, because then they realized that if you get caught for lying on a federal document, you get 5 years.
Oh, okay.
So she already had 25 years under her belt.
Oh, okay.
And then she went to jail, and she's like, yeah, this is not... I don't want to add more.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
She went to jail for somebody else.
Yeah. But, like, when she went to jail, like, they knew it wasn't her. Because they were asking her about some of the kids' injuries. And she didn't even know about them. So they were like, what about this injury? And she was like, nothing happened. And they were like, so were you there? She's like, was I where?
You drink?
I do, a little bit. Not very often, though.
You'd like to drink?
I don't ever drink to the point where I'm not, like, super aware. Like, when I drink, it's, like, very rare, but it's, like, maybe one drink.
You like beer or wine or whiskey or
No.
what do you like?
Like, fruity shit.
Okay.
Like, girly shit.
Got it.
Yeah.
Margarita or something like that.
Yeah.
Vodka.
Mm-hmm. Vodka Red Bull. Something like that.
Vodka Red Bull.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had that.
Really?
No.
You got to.
Will it turn me into girly shit or?
It might turn you. It might make you be able to say some blunt shit.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
And then we could do a podcast that way.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm a little crazy even if I don't drink. I don't think I need alcohol to be weird
Okay.
and make people uncomfortable.
I like how you make people a little bit uncomfortable.
Well, I think that
Even
helps people to
myself.
grow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I make you uncomfortable?
No. Not to the point I couldn't handle it.
So, yeah. What did I say that made you uncomfortable?
Well, I think you were saying earlier that if I didn't get a tattoo, then I was being loyal to my dad.
Did it make you change how you thought about it?
No.
Well, I guess I gotta keep trying. No,
What?
I'm just kidding.
What kind of a tattoo do you think I would get if I got one?
CTR.
I don't know what that is.
I'm just kidding. Just choose the right.
Oh God.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't know if I can see you with the tattoo.
Yeah, I don't know if I can either.
Some people get tattoos just because they like how it looks, and some people get it because like it means something to them though.
My sisters say that it makes people hotter, or guys. They say it makes guys hotter.
I think it depends on the guy's personality. I think like a lot of things go into like effect in terms of that.
When you get a tattoo, is it like a spontaneous thing or is it a planned?
It's usually planned, mostly.
Like you don't go and be like, okay, I'm getting a tattoo today.
No.
It's like, I'm going to do this. And then you think about it and then you're like, okay.
Yeah, you think about it. Well, they're not like cheap.
Depends on where you go.
Well, I think most places, like the minimum is like $60.
Yeah.
A lot of places charge by the hour.
Yeah, I have a friend, or I had a guy helping me for a little while, and he's like, I do tattoos on the side if you need one.
Did you need one?
I didn't.
Or you might need one. Am I convincing you?
No.
You're like, no.
I think if anybody has, the bikers have convinced me that they're not bad. But that doesn't mean I'll get one. But I do kind of like bikers.
I feel like I think before I had my tattoos, then people thought like I was a sweet person. And after I got tattoos, people stopped expecting me to be sweet.
Are you a sweet person?
Not usually. Some people say I am. Not very many though.
Is that a negative compliment?
That what?
If you're sweet?
I didn't like being, like, people assuming I was sweet. But that was just me. Because I think as a female, people think, like, if you're sweet, you can be easily taken advantage of. But I think it depends on, like, your mindset and where you're at. Like, back when I got my first tattoo, right when I was 18, then, yeah, people thought that. And I didn't, it wasn't a compliment to me for people to say I was sweet.
Do you think the order's gonna end soon?
Like how?
It's like kind of go to shit.
I think it's kind of been going to shit.
Well, it's been growing still.
Well, yeah. Yeah, but so is the world. The world's been going to shit, and it's so good. Hasn't it?
Yeah, but I just mean, like, do you think that when Paul dies, everything kind of just ends? Or do you think they keep going?
I think probably similar to FLDS, so when Warren went to jail.
Yeah. It's kind of gone to shit.
But there's like still people who are following it.
Yeah.
There's like branches of people.
Well, your mind can't just change that fast. It takes like years.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the hardest part, and that's something that people don't think about and consider is like, well, if Paul went to jail, then everyone would just be better. It's like, okay, well, Warren went to jail and people are still following him.
Yeah. Do you drink caffeine?
I do.
Are you addicted to it?
No,
Do you have to have your morning coffee?
I don't drink coffee
Why?
because I don't think it tastes good.
Oh, I see. That's a good excuse. One of the better ones I've ever heard.
Yeah, I don't think it tastes good.
Yeah.
But I don't. There was a while I had like a Monster a day,
Okay.
but I don't anymore. It takes me like 4 days to drink a Monster.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't drink a lot of caffeine anymore.
Oh. Caffeine makes me sensitive. Makes my body more sensitive.
So you'll be more considerate of people's emotions?
No.
Just kidding.
It disconnects. It's like it disconnects my ability to control my nervous system in the way I want to. Like I'll get a panic attack if I'm doing way too much caffeine consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like it's also like the human body though. It's not used to having all that caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
But so many people like drink so much of it that like their body starts to have a panic attack if they don't.
Did you ever have panic attacks?
Yeah.
Those are kind of weird, aren't they?
I don't think they're fun.
Yeah, they're not fun, but they're strange. They're
Yeah.
very strange in a way that it feels like something's wrong that isn't wrong. It's very strange.
Yeah.
I'm kind of fascinated by them
Do you try?
because I started having them sometimes, and I guess that might be looked on pretty negatively if you're having a panic attack, you know.
Well, I think it kind of depends. There's a lot of things that can bring that on.
Yeah.
Like, for example, going from the FLDS to not, that could probably bring it on.
Yeah, but it's looked on really negatively by the people that are in the FLDS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's also people in the FLDS, or I shouldn't say in FLDS, like in the Kingstons that have panic attacks. They just don't know what they're called.
Right.
So it's like, okay, well, you're having the same thing.
Yeah, that's true.
I can just get help with mine.
Dude, but I also thought they were stupid until I had one.
Yeah.
I thought you were just needed to get your head in order or something.
Yeah, you need to pray more.
Yeah. Or just like use your brain or something.
Yeah, like turn it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But dude, I had one. I didn't even know I was having one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought I was dying, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I learned out the hard way that that's a panic attack.
When you guys are kids, do you guys go to doctors?
No.
Did you go to doctors after you leave?
No.
You just say, I'm made of steel, man of God?
If I'm hurting really bad, I do. Yeah.
Like, what do you consider hurting really bad?
I don't know. Can't really live with it.
Like labor pains?
That sounds like, you mean like having a baby labor?
Yeah.
I don't know what that feels like.
How come?
Am I supposed to know what that feels like?
Well, they have those like labor stimulators. You never wanted to try and say, what did my mom go through?
No.
Why not?
You're saying, do I want to try it?
Yeah.
Is that necessary?
Oh no, I never tried it.
Well, you've had a kid, right?
Yeah, I don't think it tickles.
That's your way of saying something really fucking sucks, isn't it?
Well, I don't think it's fun.
Yeah.
Well, does it sound fun?
To have a kid?
Yeah, and to have all that pain.
Oh, sounds fun 9 months before it starts.
Well, I guess you could stick with that.
Yeah. Oh, this conversation is going off the rails, or is it right on track?
I don't know. How do you feel like your dating life is right now? Do you feel like it's successful?
It's not. Yeah, it's not very successful.
What would you consider successful?
Probably finding somebody I get along with.
And you haven't found one?
No.
Why don't you get along with them?
Well, I think the people that I like, they don't get along with me, and the people that I don't like get along with me.
Hmm.
Isn't that a problem?
I think sometimes, yeah. Like, are you asking if it's a problem for me right now?
Yeah, is that a problem? Isn't that a problem?
I think sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, I think I kind of push people away sometimes.
Like, what do you mean? Like emotionally?
Yeah.
Or like just how you, like your demeanor?
Oh, I can't figure out what's wrong. I can't figure out what's wrong.
Mm.
You know?
Mm.
Why? I think there's something else. Like, if you don't like people
Mm-hmm.
that like you, and the people that you like don't like you, and that's always how it is,
Mm-hmm.
then I think there's something wrong.
So, what do you do about that, though?
I don't know.
You go to therapy. Have you ever been to therapy?
I don't like being a therapist for somebody that
Well,
is trying to be a therapist for me.
so then don't go to therapists that are like that.
That's how therapists are,
Not all of them.
pretty much.
You can go to a different one.
Well, I always have to help them understand the problem. You know?
That's what therapy is.
Okay, but they can't figure it out, so I have to figure it out, then tell them.
That's what therapy is. They help you to figure out what's wrong with you.
Yeah, but I have to help them.
Yeah, because they're not a doctor that says, hey, guess what? Your leg's broken because it's shattered right here. You have to talk and
I know I have to
figure out.
talk.
You have to talk and figure out what isn't making sense for you, and then you tell them, and then they talk to you about working through that.
That's really boring for me to listen to. It's like listening to my dad or something.
Except if you know you're gonna like do better in the future because of it, it might be worth it.
Sit there and listen to him. Oh, when you're starting to feel this emotion, then like do this.
Well, it's not always like that. It's not always like, what does this emotion feel like in your body? That's just like understanding what emotions feel like in your body.
Well, so what is therapy for?
To have someone to talk to and to be able to like have someone to talk to be able to discuss how you view things and to be able to see where they're like the disconnects are. Does that make sense?
I thought that's what friends were.
Well, if a friend is like their life's going to shit, are you gonna want to take their advice?
No.
So then you gotta find someone whose life's not going to shit.
Yeah.
But there's also gonna be, everyone's gonna think differently than you.
Mm-hmm.
So if your leg's broken, you go to a doctor who specializes in broken bones. How come you don't go to a doctor who specializes in how the brain works?
Because my leg's broken.
Well, if your brain's broken too, it sounds like.
Was that a compliment? Or
No.
oh.
It wasn't supposed to be mean, but it definitely wasn't a compliment. No, I'm just saying, like, if you were raised in a cult,
Yeah.
then, like I was saying earlier, like me talking to my therapist and saying, like, what does joy feel like? Because I, like, definitely didn't understand what that was. Then talking to someone who's had to study how the mind works, then they're able to help you navigate that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because then it can also help you navigate, like, why you relate certain things together. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think someone who comes from a cult could definitely benefit from therapy. Just because it's like we were told for so long how to think and why to think that way. Like, it gives you an idea of how your mind actually thinks. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And this would come from someone who's been, like, I've been to therapy more than once.
Does that mean like 10 times or?
I think we're getting there. Just kidding, yeah, it's been more than 10 times. Yeah.
I don't think I'm too far behind.
Too far behind what?
If you're at 10.
10 therapy sessions?
Yeah.
I'm not at 10.
Okay. I won't ask how many you're at.
More than that.
Yeah.
But I think, like, it's just, again, like, talking to someone about certain situations, but being able to understand, like, how the brain works around that.
You're saying I should do that for dating?
Well, I think therapy is good for anybody, like, not just for dating, but, like, in life.
Yeah.
But also definitely people who come from a cult, just in life. But I don't think it would be... I think it would be helpful with dating if you wanted to, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just my perspective. You don't have to do what I think.
I know. I probably would make some better decisions if I did, but probably some worse ones too.
Well, you're already doing that, so you
Doing
can...
worse or better?
Both.
Oh.
So you could lose money in the process by going to therapy.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great deal.
I hate therapy sessions.
Well, it sounds like you're going to shitty therapists.
You're probably right.
Yeah. Now that we diagnosed you. Are you over it?
No. I didn't think we needed to diagnose me.
Oh, well, I guess that was just part of the process. But I think because you said you do the podcast to see, like, learn more about how people's minds work.
Yeah.
That's why I think that you would, like, enjoy therapy too.
I don't though.
But how many therapists have you tried?
Probably 5.
What therapists are you going to? The 5 worst ones in Utah?
Do you think I'm capable of choosing anything less than the 5 worst ones?
From the sounds
Or
of it,
is
then
this
I
part
don't
of
know.
the process?
Well, I mean, it depends on also what you're going in with the expectations of.
Actually, I haven't.
And what research you do beforehand.
I'd probably enjoy talking to like a neuroscientist or something.
Well, you should do that.
For a therapist, maybe.
Well, I think there's some that have a lot more degrees than others.
Mm-hmm.
There's some that have, like, been doing it for a lot longer than others.
Yeah, the ones I've sat down with, I was like, you know what? That reminds me of like a really boring training I listened to from my dad or something.
Yeah.
Peace out.
What kind of research do you do before you go to the therapist, though?
Make a phone call.
And ask what? Hey, do you guys have an appointment?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Actually, it's been a while. I did that back when I was truly like...
Fresh out?
Well, mostly when I was really struggling with my mind to the point where I was like, I'm going to do something stupid if I don't get somebody to help me figure out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm going to make a really bad decision.
Yeah.
I better go talk to somebody. And sometimes that was a friend, and sometimes that was like some random person I found,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it was therapists
I
that I
think
would try talking to.
I think like right now, with like from where it sounds like your mind's at, like right now may be more beneficial, because then you can like be able to understand where like how your mind works and how it can work like with you rather than against you. Because like when you're in that crisis moment of like, if I don't talk to someone right now, then I'm gonna go off the deep end basically, then there's only so much progress you can make. But if you're like level-headed and you're like,
But that's when
okay,
you
things
need
are
it.
good. Well, yeah, that's where you need it. But also you could benefit it from like in times like this, where it's like, okay, I just want to better understand how my mind works, like, and how it can work for me rather than against me, and like why it works the way that it does.
Well, isn't therapy just to some degree, it's just another form of brainwashing?
I think if you go to the therapist that want to brainwash you, then it might be.
Well,
So if someone tells you fruits and vegetables are healthy, but nobody told you that before, does that mean they're brainwashing you of that?
no,
Are they brainwashing you that you should wear your seatbelt when you drive?
no,
Or you should stop at red lights? Is that brainwashing?
no.
How come?
Because if you do those things, if you stop at a red light, there's a higher potential you won't die before you turn 30.
So if you understand how your brain works, then is that brainwashing? Or is it a higher potential that you won't die and do something stupid to the point where you die before you're 30?
It sounds good if it's true.
Well, that's the thing, though. You don't have to walk in their office and believe everything they say.
Yeah.
You can have the same conversation like we've had today. And there's been times I've asked my therapist, like, what the fuck's the point of that? And they've answered, and they've told me. And I said, well, I still think that's kind of stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, okay, then don't do that. And I said, yeah, I won't. Wasn't planning on it. You can have those conversations with them. You don't just have to automatically believe everything they say.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't believe anything anybody said. The thing I'm scared of is when it seems like it's true and it's not.
Well, for me, like, because my mind works so logically, and it did when I was in the order, so if something didn't make sense, I asked my mom, well, why? Tell me why. That's how it is. And I kept asking her until she told me. And then if the reasons didn't make sense, I said, that sounds like bullshit. Mm-hmm. So give me a different reason. And she did. And she did until it made sense. And I'm like, okay, well, that still sounds like bullshit and like you're fucking people over, but I guess the dots connect. So you could do the same thing in therapy and say, where do you come to that conclusion?
Yeah. Do you ever have these times where you get focused on something and then you or you start loving somebody or something and then you snap out of it and that'll give me a panic attack.
What do you mean, like you love someone and you snap out of it?
Like I'll be getting really into a subject, like I'll be writing or something, and I'll be getting so into it that I forget the world exists, kind of, and then I'll snap out of it, and then I'll be like, oh my God, like it's almost like you're snapping out of like a cult kind of a thing, but it's not that way, but it's like that there's a chance you don't see reality. That's kind of how love is. Like when you really start loving somebody, when you really, like, if you allow yourself to start loving somebody and then you snap out of it, it's like
so what I'm hearing is more reasons why therapy would help. No, I think I understand what you're trying to say, where you're like loving somebody and you're like fully committed and you're fully in it, and then you like have a second where you're like, what if I'm like pouring too much into this and they're not pouring back, and like that fear, is that what you're meaning?
Well, it's more like,
and you like
it's like
close
being
off
in a cult
because you're scared.
It's like being in a cult.
Mm-hmm.
You can't see outside of it.
Well, that's the thing.
Well, I see it all the time with people that love each other.
Mm-hmm.
They can't see outside of it. It's like they're in a cult. They're in a little cult.
Well, that's called not being able to see past your nose. Like, you can see past your nose even if you're in a
No.
relationship.
Sometimes.
Well, that's the thing. You don't have to go into it blindly.
I know. But that's kind of how love is. That's what love does to you. Like, love is blind. They're the reason they say that. You're too logical, probably, for it to be blind.
No, but I think, like, the conversations that we've had today, though, where you're like, okay, but I want to understand, like, the reasoning behind that. I think that is exactly, like, why therapy would help you to understand that. So you wouldn't, like you said, like, I'm going to be going off for days trying to figure out how your dad's brain works.
Why he likes those toys.
But guess what? Like, that could also be a conversation, understanding how your brain works, and then you'd be able to, like, connect those dots of, like, okay, well, sometimes that's what makes him happy.
Dude, do you know what the best therapist is?
What?
Like AI.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Oh. How's that working for your dating life?
It's made a little bit of progress.
It sounds like you're still not dating successfully, though.
Dude.
That's off of your words.
That's true. I'm not dating successfully. Well, it's not to say I couldn't. It's just I'm not, you know.
So you're choosing to be stupid.
No. It could come across that way, but...
What? Oh, I wasn't trying to be mean. I was just asking a question.
Yeah.
No, but AI is... You know AI pulls things that is not real, right?
Yeah, I see that sometimes in it, for sure.
So that's the thing, though. Like, you say you don't want to go to a therapist because you're worried about them telling you some bullshit that's not real. And then you're like, well, AI is pretty great. And AI literally admits to doing that.
I know, but I feel like I can... Yeah, you're right that it pulls things right out of that are just the biggest lie, you know?
Mm-hmm. It pulls things that sound like they're accurate.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But sometimes it tells you things that are, like, pretty true. Like,
so
when
did,
I'm using...
Warren Jeffs. Didn't he tell you to be kind to people?
Yeah.
So sometimes
but that wasn't the problem.
So sometimes he tells you things that are true.
That's true.
So you're gonna follow him?
No, but
so I'm not. So you're gonna tattoo then?
See, you're gonna force me to get a tattoo.
I'm just kidding.
Can it be tiny?
You can do whatever makes you happy.
Okay.
But I'll ask you next time I see you. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, I think if you go to different places, like, you're gonna find things that work for them, and you're gonna find things that don't work for them. And you're gonna find things that work for you, and you're gonna find things that don't work for you. But that's why you're gonna have to do, like, a trial and error. So if you go to a therapist that doesn't work, or they're, like, spewing bullshit, and they're, like, all they're talking about the whole time is, how do you feeling today? Then it's like, okay, well, this is not worth my money. Yeah. But I think there's some that you can go and see, like, do your research and find out, like, what degree they have and what, like, how much experience they have. And then if you feel like you can open up more with a female or more with a male, then you can decide that.
Yeah.
And then if you can open up more with, like, someone who's around your age or someone who's a little bit older, you can find that out too.
Yeah.
Am I convincing you?
I think I'm too proud to go to therapy anymore. You know?
Like, proud of what? Proud of just going through life aimlessly?
No. You're what do you call it? I forgot the term.
Persistent?
Yeah, you're persistent.
Well, I just think, like, based on the conversations we've had today, I think that you would enjoy a therapist if you were able to find a therapist that was good. But I also think that for a lot of people, I think a lot of people need therapy, to be honest.
That's what most women say.
That's because most men don't go to therapy.
Yeah. But
That's like 100% true.
that's because they don't feel like it's useful.
Well, that's because they feel like nobody's opinion is useful but their own.
You're. I guess that's one way to look at it.
Am I wrong?
Um.
Do most guys think that their opinion is better than others?
Yeah.
So I wasn't wrong. But I compare it to, if your foot's broken, are you going to talk to a friend about it? Or are you going to go to the doctor and then talk to a friend about it?
Yeah, I would.
Or are you going to you need surgery on your foot, are you going to let a friend perform it?
No.
Why? That's what friends are for.
That's what
you said. Because it's like, if they specialize and understand how the brain works, like, they can probably offer some insight, but you think that you know more than the people who understand how the brain works? Do you?
No.
So then, I'm confused.
What do you call it when, like, I feel like I see your point, it's good. Your point's good. But sometimes it feels a little bit like I'm being gaslit.
Into what?
Into getting therapy or a tattoo.
And that's the thing too. I think that, like, you can't be forced into it.
Yeah.
Or it's not going to work.
Yeah.
But I do think, like, it's helpful for a lot of people, and I think it would be helpful for a lot more people if they would go.
You think men would be more decent if they went to therapy?
I think that they would, probably, yeah. And I think that they would get further in life if they went to therapy and were willing to listen to other people's opinion. But I think you're willing to listen to other people's opinion because, like, we've been talking and you've taken into consideration some of the things I've said.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't think I know everything, despite popular belief.
I think a lot of men just feel like, or a lot of therapists just make you feel bad for yourself.
I think there's definitely some therapists that are like that, and I've been to therapists who've done that.
Like like we've been talking about, I laugh at shit. I laugh at hard shit.
Well, and I told my, multiple therapists, I've said, if you sit there and say, I'm so sorry for you, then I'm going to not come back. Mm-hmm. Because I don't need to hear that. I've heard that before. Next, tell me something I haven't heard before, because that's why I'm here. That's why I'm paying you. Uh-huh. So I think people in life...
So you have to help them help you too.
Well, I think to a point, you can't go into the doctor's office and say, I'm broken, fix me.
Right.
You have to tell them where it's hurting.
I know, but
you have to help them help you.
I know, but it's another thing when you have to show them that your leg's actually broken. Like, you tell them it's broken, then they x-ray and say it's not broken.
And you say, okay, well, it hurts.
They say, oh, I'm sorry about that.
What doctors are you going to? Holy shit.
Oh, dude, I should tell you, I had this really bad cold.
Do you go to the order doctors?
No.
Sounds like it.
Maybe. I had this really bad cold, and I had a thing in my throat. I can't remember what they call it, but it's where pus gets back there and swells up.
Like you're with your tonsils?
No, yeah, it was behind my tonsil. But, God, I wish I remembered the name of it. But they have to stick a needle in and suck it out and then give you some antibiotics. Like, I went into the doctor and they tested me for strep and flu and all this stuff, and it all came back negative. And they're like, yeah, just go home. Well, I waited like 4 days, and I was in total agony. Like, my throat was getting all closed off. I could hardly eat. I went in again, and they did a bunch of tests, and they're like, yep, just gotta tough this one out. Well, the next morning, I got up and I couldn't even breathe hardly. I could not even get anything down my throat. And so I went in again, and they were like, dude, you got to go to the ER. So I went to the ER.
So you do know where other doctors are. But if they're not helping you, don't go back to the same one 6 times.
I know.
After you see they're not helping you after 2 times, and you're like, okay, well, I need to talk to someone else then.
Yeah. Well, you have to be almost dead. Then they help you.
If you go to the wrong doctors. But I think like that is...
Oh, I think they were Mormons. That's what I thought.
So they weren't going to help you because you were almost dead? Because they're Mormons?
No, they weren't. They wanted me to drink tea or something.
I don't think the Mormons do that.
Oh, well, they wanted me to
pray about it?
Yeah.
Is that what their prescription was?
That's what they treated me like. Like, I don't go into the doctor when I have a cold. That's not why I'm here.
Well, I think
if they knew me, they would know I didn't come in because I had a freaking cold.
Well, I think that's how it was when I first left. Then it was like, that was my mentality when I was going to doctors. Because I'm like, well, they should know I'm not coming in unless I'm like actually hurting. And I have like a pretty high pain tolerance.
Yeah.
But then I had to realize like, I had to communicate that and be like, no, I'm not coming in for bullshit. And then I had to find a doctor who understood when I said, I'm not coming in for bullshit.
Yeah.
Because there were some doctors that were just like, oh yeah, you're fine, just walk it off. And I'm like, walk it off where? Because I'm not going to be happy and I'm not going to just walk it off.
You know what diagnosed me? It was AI.
What did they diagnose you as?
It told me, it said, I'm pretty sure you have an abscess.
Because
I went to 2 doctors, and then I couldn't figure it out, so I was like talking to AI for a long time.
But what did it say in there, though? To get it confirmed by a doctor?
Yeah.
Yeah, see? It's all coming back. I'm not gaslighting you. I'm just asking you a question.
Yeah, I know. But when I went in there the 3rd time, I printed a paper that said, you have to check me for all these things, or I'm not leaving, because this is like super painful.
Yeah.
And I handed it to them. And when they asked me what I needed, I just handed it to them.
Yeah, and sometimes like you need to find your way to be able to tell them like what you're needing. But also you do have to understand though too, like maybe a therapist could help like some random person off the street to a point, but they can't guess how you work.
Yeah.
Because everyone's brain works differently. Like your brain does the same functions, but because you were raised in the FLDS, like your brain's going to work differently than mine.
Yeah.
So it's like some random person off the street may not have to tell them a whole lot of information about like their upbringing for them to be able to understand how their brain works. But someone like me and you, we're probably going to have to be able to tell them more so that they can understand more.
Would you rather a Kingston brain or an FLDS brain?
I think it depends on which aspect you're talking about. If I wanted to build a house, probably an FLDS brain.
That's a good point. I thought you were going to say something ruder than that, but I appreciate that. That was actually kind.
Yeah, see? I can say kind things sometimes.
I guess therapy's come a long ways.
No, but I think, like, it definitely depends. But you do have to tell them, like, more than just walk into a doctor and say, hey, do an x-ray on my leg. Because, like, in therapy, and I think that's why men turn away from it so much, is because you have to talk about it and you have to reflect on it. And men think more of, like, what's in front of me right now. Women, like, stew on things, but I think men think about, like, what's in front of me. And if it's not, like, in my way, then I shouldn't be thinking about it.
Yeah.
So I think, like, men who think more about, like, how the brain works and how the mind's working, not all men do that.
Yeah. I do reflect a lot.
Yeah. But I think it's also helpful to have someone else's perspective. Because it's like, Because that's why you talk to your friends, to get their perspective on, like, how would you have handled this? Or, like, what would you recommend? Or even, like, just being able to talk about it.
Oh, that's another reason why I really started hating Mormons some. It's not like I hate them as people, but I was going through some like really dark mental times when I was coming out of the FLDS, and I was trying to talk to some of those Mormons who claimed they were like mental health people, and like the level of do not give a shit and be a Mormon was insane, even though they didn't say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really turned me off on the Mormons.
I think because I was like, people recommended I get into therapy like really quick after I left. I don't think I would have, like, I didn't stay in therapy right after I left because I was like, I cannot, like, I'm already overwhelmed with like all the changes, that this is just too much. But then I like was out for a couple years, and then I went back to it, and then I'm like, I can manage this, and but it helped me to understand like why I was so emotionally detached, and like how that was beneficial at the time, and how it's beneficial now, but how it can also be a little bit harmful now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because there was a time in therapy I literally said like, well, why does anybody like deal with emotions? Because they're like, any way I look at it, they're just hurtful. Because if you lead with emotions when it comes to driving, you're gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
And if you lead with emotions when it comes to like dating, it's probably not the smartest thing to do, because it's gonna come and bite you in the ass. So I asked my therapist, I was like, well, why would anybody lead with emotions? I know a lot of people do, but I don't understand why they would, and why I would even want to. But now that I stayed in therapy, then now I know how to be nice sometimes.
Well, being nice is one thing, but why would somebody, like, you will be better off if you don't make decisions with emotions, right?
Well, that's like understanding though, like emotions can help it though sometimes. Because like logic, why do you logically need to have a favorite thing? Exactly. But
that
if you
helps
have emotions, and then you can consider having something that's your favorite can bring you joy, which is another emotion, which is making your life fuller.
Yeah, but that's one of the crazy things about emotions themselves, is we only need things because we need our future to be good. And that's all emotional in some sense.
Well, not all of them though, because it's like you don't need food so you don't die just because your life won't be good, but because you logically will not live without food.
Right. That's what I'm saying though. Like, the only reason you need food is because you'll die if you don't have it. And but I guess my point on that is that everything kind of comes from that, like all our emotions, and they get blurred. And so, like, not needing food or needing food because you're going to die, that's logical, right? But it comes from our need to survive and to be in the future.
Well, you don't necessarily need to survive or be in the future. Like, you could die today, if that's what you're saying.
Right. No, I'm saying that our need to survive and be in the future usually blinds us to making decisions that aren't the best. And I think that's what emotions kind of are.
Well, I don't agree. Because you said our need to be in the future and to live makes us make stupid decisions.
No, I do.
So does that mean you only ever eat the healthiest things so you don't drink?
No. I'm saying, I know we need, like, I'm not saying we shouldn't want to live into the future. I'm just saying a lot of times our need for the future to be good blinds us emotionally from making good decisions.
So does that mean you never eat anything that's like not healthy?
Oh, I do.
So that doesn't blind all the decisions, because you still eat things that are not the healthiest.
Right.
So it doesn't blind everything.
Yeah, and that's
It
just
blinds it to a
emotions.
point.
That's just emotions, right? It's
Yeah.
just my need to have something that tastes good.
I guess. Not necessarily.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. But I get your point when you say like emotions don't do that much good.
Well, and that's what I was thinking like previously. Like there's nothing necessarily even positive about emotions. Like maybe small things. But now I do acknowledge like how much positive emotions do bring. Because like I can love my kids to a different level because I am in tune with my emotions and I'm not just shutting them out. But like outside of that,
what good does that actually do?
make them feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
Make me happy with them. Allows us to have fun
So
and not just work all the time.
Yeah. So in some sense, emotions are only to satisfy other emotions. Like you're feeling love towards them so that they can be happy and you can be happy.
No, I'm feeling love towards them because they're my kids and I love them.
Yeah.
But I don't just love them because I want to be happy. I love them because I love them.
Yeah. Well, I know that's just like part of being human.
Yeah. Well, and I think like trying to live only on the logical side, like I can see this now, but I could not see it back then. But trying to live only on the logical side of things is not how human nature is like meant to be.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you said like you feel like you want and need human connection in certain times. That's emotion.
Oh, 100%. It's crazy how you almost die from not having it too.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing.
That's odd.
That's like also understanding how those can coexist. And that was another thing I talked to my therapist about back in the day. I said, how do you do like part logic and part like emotion? Because I feel like when I see people doing things like with human emotion, I feel like they're throwing all logic out the window. It's like understanding how to like combine those in a way that makes sense for me. It may not make sense for like this other person, and theirs might not make sense to me, but like it makes sense to me how I do it. And like I was saying, like now I'm able to see other people and say, okay, you need to process this for however long or in whatever way, and I can be patient with that because I understand it and I can have empathy for it without necessarily like jumping in to rescue you from your emotions or trying to like logic my way out of it, my way out of your emotion. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Yeah, so it's like I can understand not just where my brain is like connecting the dots, but also where other people's brain are connecting the dots. And understanding that just because they believe something, I don't have to believe that. Like it doesn't have to be black or white or like my way or your way. Like how can we combine both of them to make the best positive outcome?
So can we agree that I don't have to get a tattoo and I'm still
If you go
not
to
following my
therapy.
dad?
If you go to therapy. No, I know you're not, like just because you don't get a tattoo, it doesn't mean you're following your dad.
I know. I appreciate that.
But I do think, yeah, just because of how much you've talked about like wanting to understand how people's brain works, I think that it would be an interest for you. Because I was always like that though. Like I always wanted to understand how people's brains worked. Because I'm like, okay, but where did you...
Wait, are you a therapist?
No.
Oh.
Should I be?
Sure. But didn't you... Wait, you did something like that.
Criminal justice.
Oh, criminal justice.
That's what my degree is in.
Does that mean like a prosecutor or...
No. Should I be a lawyer?
If you keep the jokes.
Oh, fuck yeah. Lawyers who aren't funny are not fun.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, what's criminal justice? Is it? Oh, it's not an attorney.
No. I think people who go for like bachelors in criminal justice, sometimes their next step is like an attorney. So people have asked me, they're like, you gonna be an attorney next then? You gonna go to law school?
Oh, I see.
So that's why I was wondering if I should be.
Well, what is it? Can you explain
What I do?
Yeah.
I'm a victim advocate.
Is that like a government position type of a job or?
Kind of.
Okay. So
I like basically help people to understand like the government processes if they're like a victim of a crime. Like understand what the processes are and then like call and get updates for them and be able to like explain that stuff to them. Because I went to school to like understand the law and stuff.
So it's kind of an attorney.
We don't get paid as much.
Yeah.
And we don't like talk in front of, I guess we help them talk in front of the judge sometimes.
Oh.
And go to court with them. When they like explain what happened in court and like what the court process is.
I see.
Like, yeah. Just make things happen for them.
So it's a little bit of a therapist attorney.
No, we talk to them and we like, yeah, we like can't care if they're understanding what's happening. The attorney's just like, I don't have time for this. So we sit with them and they're like, okay, do you understand what this means?
Mm-hmm. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So I like to understand how people's minds work.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like part of being in a cult is losing your fucking mind, right?
Mm-hmm. And I think like that's why I find it so fascinating how people's brains work and like how they connect certain dots.
Mm-hmm.
It's like for the same reason. Because I was like, there was such nonsense going on. And like somehow they found a way to connect the dots. So how the fuck did that happen? But also like when people are not living in a cult, how did they like make sense of things?
Yeah. It's a trip.
Yeah.
Being human is a trip.
Yeah. But I think also like when people leave the FLDS or the order, then they're like, who's supposed to tell me what to do now?
Yeah.
Who's supposed to tell me what's right and wrong? Because if I do all the things that they told me already, then I might as well still be living there with all my family.
Yeah.
So I think like that's also helpful for them to be able to like talk about, to be able to understand like who you are outside of like who people told you are. Because like even your friends, they put you in a box of like, this is just your personality. Yeah. And it's like, do you even know if that's what you want your personality to be like? Or if that's even who you are? Or if that's just how you were told that you would be accepted?
Yeah. Well, I think for me, I was that way. Like I was trying to figure out who decides what's right and wrong. Mm-hmm. I think I've stripped it all the way down to like, there isn't anything without my existence. I think I've stripped morality down to something like that. Mm-hmm. Like without me being able to exist, then there's nothing. Mm-hmm. And so from there, I kind of like decide what's right and wrong in some weird way. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, I can't figure things out, you know?
And I think like...
That's what's crazy though, is you can't figure things out beyond yourself.
What do you mean?
Like...
So did you decide to have red lights mean stop?
Yeah, I never got rid of that one.
So you figured something out besides yourself?
Well, no, I just mean like you can't see existence outside like of yourself.
Well, you could listen to other people's like opinion and hear their perspective of it.
I know, but they can't see it outside themselves.
Well, it's like if we all get in the room together and talk about it, we can probably come to the conclusion that this is brown.
Yeah.
It's not just because I see it as brown.
That's valid.
So it's like if there's 9 people lining up and saying that this is brown, it might be brown.
Unless you're in a cult.
Still might be brown even if you're in a
It
cult.
might be. I'll think about the therapy. Maybe I'll have a therapist on my podcast.
Yeah, but I think there's definitely like therapists who do more harm than good.
Really?
Like,
Yeah,
like
I
Jody
believe you.
Hildebrandt.
Oh yeah.
And then I think there's definitely therapists who are just there to collect a paycheck.
I watched that whole thing about them. That was a trip.
Yeah, it's like
It was
the
a
order.
Mormon trip.
It's like the order.
Yeah.
Because we get, like, there were times we got locked up in basements and shit. Zip tied to the boards and stuff.
Yeah. But I think that comes, like, her whole problem, I think, comes from Mormonism, too. I think.
I think she, like, based things off things that Mormons believe, but she took it to, like, an extreme. Like, I don't think every Mormon family is doing that shit.
I don't either, but it's like some sort of mental disorder.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Look, you're diagnosed with people now, too. I am rubbing off on you. No, I think, yeah. Because I know Amanda for a long time, she was like, all the therapists I've been to have been shitty. And then she like I started talking to her more about like what my therapy appointments would look like. And she'd be like, yeah, that's not anything like mine.
Mm-hmm.
And then she like started seeing a different therapist and she was like, now mine are more normal.
Yeah.
So I think it definitely depends on like what therapist you go to.
Yeah, so I think I would have to get over that problem, and then I'd have to get over my pride problem. Like, I feel like it's embarrassing.
I think a lot of men think that, though. Like,
Yeah.
it's embarrassing. But honestly...
It kind of is, because other men think it's embarrassing, right?
But who are you trying... Are you trying to be with a man, or are you trying to be with a girl?
Well, if I was... Oh, you mean dating?
Well, yeah.
Well, of course. Yeah, I'm trying to be with a girl, but I've got to get along with my guys, you know?
Wait, also, you don't have to tell them that you're going to therapy necessarily.
That's true.
But I think, like, it would show a lot of growth that you're able to.
It's considered gay.
I think for some circles. Sounds like you're in the wrong circles.
Well, I guess it's not like I'm afraid of therapy.
I think it's definitely... There's a lot of people who do look... A lot of males who look down on other males who go to therapy.
Yeah.
But I think... Well, I think also if you go and... Like, I could say, because you have a brown coffee table, then that's gay. You can say that.
Gay.
Well, who said? You or me?
Me.
Exactly. Well, I don't feel like your opinion is above mine, so...
Okay.
So we can do that.
Yeah.
Or you can be like, well, I like this coffee table, whether you feel like it's gay or whether it's not.
Yeah, true.
Do you feel like you have like a stigmatism around like people who are gay still? Like after leaving?
It depends on who I'm with.
So that means that sounds like you don't know who you are in terms of that.
Oh, I don't mind gay people.
But what?
I don't judge them at all. Like,
oh. Sounds like you do.
No, I don't. Like, I had Val.
Yeah.
I had Val on my podcast, and
you had a gay person that you talked to one time?
We talked about how it was to be gay.
Yeah? Did you feel like you could relate?
What do you mean? You mean relate to being gay? Do you say that as a joke or not?
Well, I'm asking you, do you feel like you have a stigmatism around like
you mean like a resentment, or
do you feel like they're less than?
No.
Or do you like look down on them at all?
No. I guess sometimes some of the ways I use the term might seem like it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's gay.
Yeah.
But Val said that's cool. He said I'm okay to say that.
Yeah. Well, like, to me, I'm not like the spokesperson for people who are gay, but I think like when you said like going to therapy is gay, like I don't look at that as like a negative thing, because like people who are gay and like the people I've known who are gay, I feel like they take into account other people's feelings a lot more than straight people do.
Oh,
like in general.
I see.
So I don't feel like that's a negative thing, but I think like the way you say it could be seen as like a negative thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely use the term like gay as being bad a
Mm-hmm.
lot. Yeah, I still do that a lot.
Yeah, but I think like that's just something from like the cult that's like needs to dwindle out.
But
Like
a lot
it's
of people do,
yeah,
even out of the cult.
that's true.
Like they're like, oh, that's gay,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, well that's true.
Yeah, I definitely deal with people from all over the spectrum. I
Mm-hmm.
deal with super redneck type
Yeah.
guys and then super liberal type people
Mm-hmm. Where would
and
you
gay.
consider yourself?
Nowhere.
Not in this existence.
Well, I just like I understand
Mm-hmm.
I understand why the liberal people are so liberal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to change their mind. I understand the rednecks too. Like I get where they're coming from. I don't
Mm-hmm.
I don't really judge them.
Yeah.
Like do your thing.
Yeah.
I don't really, you know, my morality I guess is at a point where it's like
You do you.
you do you.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't appreciate when people don't treat. The biggest thing I hate is when people don't treat another person like they're human.
Yeah.
Like
Like with
when
respect.
yeah, so like when the man, like if real redneck men tell me like, oh, these women are so shitty,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like I'm gonna lash out at them,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm kind of like, dude, you have a like that's not a man or woman problem. That's like a human problem.
Yeah.
You're dealing with some sort of resentment towards humans.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's my biggest problem with people is don't treat another person like they're not human.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't really judge people for how they see things.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Where are you? Unless you don't want to tell me, but
Where am I with what?
just like how you see,
People.
yeah.
I think
Like, do you look at real liberal or real conservative people as like bad people or?
I think similar, kind of similar to you, where I think like I understand where they're coming from, but I do think sometimes their view is too narrow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're not like they're considering these people, but not considering these people.
Yeah.
But I think that doesn't necessarily come with the term of liberal or redneck. I think it comes with like a human thing
Mm-hmm.
of like there's some people who consider themselves like redneck or liberal who are like just shitty people.
Yeah.
And then there's also the same people who consider themselves the same who are like I would consider a good person.
Yeah.
So I think like it depends on how you treat people at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And also like if you're going to battle to hurt people or if you're going to battle to like protect people.
Yeah.
Then it like shows what type of person you are. Because I think you can also like label yourself as something, but you can still be a shitty person as a person. Or you can like label yourself as one thing and then like not realize that you are invalidating a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think it comes down to like a human person and a human thing, but I don't think that there needs to be so much like one side or the other, or I think we could get a lot further in life.
Yeah.
Same as if like people were willing to like take someone else's opinion into consideration. I'm not saying that because of you. I'm saying like in general.
Yeah, I know.
So like if we took a group of people's opinion before we go and start wars.
Mm-hmm.
We took a group of people's opinion before we go and marry underage kids. So it's like I'm not saying that about you or like I'm saying like in the world or in the cult. I think no one person has all the best ideas.
Yeah, that's true.
Because even for me, like I'm a supervisor and I tell my team all the time, Like, I'm not the one with the best ideas just because I have the title.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm the one who can, like, go and, I guess, lead the team and say, hey, we have something to say. But I'm not the only person with a good idea to be found. Like, everybody has good ideas. It just depends on if you feel like you have the support to stand up for that good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Is how I look at it personally.
Yeah. I think the kids is a good example.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where we take society and we make a judgment where that line is. Because it's really hard to make a moral argument exactly about it. Like, God said this or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, as society, we kind of decided that 18 is like this point where people can start making that decision.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a good example of like how we get together and come together on a decision.
Well, and that's what I mean too, though. I think like if we did that more, we could become a lot further in life.
Mm-hmm.
Because like back in the day, and I'm not saying like we should go back in the day, but like back in the day, the reason why like that became a thing is because back in the day, then if people went below that, then the town like came together and was like, we're not going to accept this.
Right.
And it's like that's not happening to the same level. And I'm not saying it necessarily should, where people would just go around like killing people if they don't agree with them.
Yeah.
But I think that there's certain people who are trying to make like unilateral decisions of like, I said this. I said you should get a tattoo, so you should get a tattoo.
Yeah.
No, I think you should do what you want.
It's like...
Because am I going to be paying for your tattoo? I'm not.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not up to me. It's not on my body. I'm not paying for it.
But it's also like in these big community decisions, we have to find something that works for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going to bring about the general peace of everybody. Otherwise...
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, and I think like in order to do that, you also have to have everybody willing to hear other people's perspective.
Yeah.
Because like there were people who didn't like the idea of having red lights. But then like most people said, okay, well, it makes more sense because it is safer. And like people didn't like having to wear your seatbelt. And then it's like, okay, well, enough people were able to see other people's perspective and say, okay, I do see how it can be safer.
Yeah.
So, and like that's how I look at like therapy in a way. Not that me and my therapist is like having a board meeting, I'm deciding what I should do in my life. But it's just like, I don't understand this situation. Like, I want to talk about it, basically. And like having someone who understands how the mind works because I think so logically. Because if I just wanted to care and learn about like the emotional side of things, then I would talk to people who have similar emotions to that. But it's like, no, I want to understand like the logical side. So I'm talking to someone who understands like the logical side.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how I view it. But
Okay.
I know not everybody agrees.
I think it's fair. I think it's fair. I'll listen despite my pride. You know.
Well, and I think like, despite what it may seem, I'm not trying to convince you to go to therapy. I think it would be helpful.
I don't believe that.
I think it would be helpful. But I think it would be helpful for like everybody.
Yeah.
To spend some time in therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Because like my kids have been to therapy. And they've been able to like be open about certain things that they didn't feel like they could be open about before.
Yeah.
About like, oh, I don't like how this is. And like we can have a conversation of how come you don't feel comfortable about talking about that?
Mm-hmm.
And like being able to understand how their brain works and help them to be able to process things.
Yeah. No, I think therapy can be a good thing. Well, there's a lot of people that I see that like, oh God, you need therapy.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I don't know who the fuck can help you. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's understandable too. But I think a lot of people thought that about me. And you're like, yeah, I think they still think about that about you.
No.
No?
No, I think, I think you're awesome.
I think I used to be meaner,
Really?
but now I could be more like considerate of other people's. I guess I wouldn't say meaner. I think not as emotionally connected, basically.
Yeah.
That I would say things and be like, okay, well, I don't understand why you have an issue with that. But that sounds like a you issue.
Yeah.
But now I can be like, okay, well, that's my perspective. You have yours. It's okay if they're different. Yeah.
We'll get there.
What does that mean? Like me and you?
No.
Like you'll agree to...
I'll get there.
So you'll get to where I'm at? Or you're in therapy?
I guess we'll see if it happens through therapy or not.
Yeah. I think, like, in the times I was not in therapy, I think I make more progress when I was.
Oh, yeah.
But I think not all people are like that.
Yeah.
Because some people were in therapy and they had a horrible therapist and they didn't even progress. They got worse.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it all depends. It depends on lots of things.
Okay. Well, I'll tell everybody to go to therapy if
they
can stand it.
They can stand it.
Well, anything you want to say before we close? Besides go to therapy?
Get a tattoo. No, I'm just kidding. I think everybody should live what makes them happy, and if they're not hurting anybody, then that's best course of action. But I think everyone grows and heals on their own path in their own way.
Yeah.
But I think there's just lots of people's perspectives, and you can take what helps and leave what doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you say a little bit insulting things sometimes, then sometimes that helps.
Okay, to be fair, it sounds like you learned some things from me doing that. No, I'm just kidding.
So you're going to do it more?
To who? To you?
Yeah.
Probably should.
Yeah. I think I'm usually the one kind of doing that to people, so it helps to have somebody
doing it back?
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad you got that. I think that might have been the goal with having me be on your podcast.
Okay.
I'm just kidding, was it?
Yeah. I didn't know that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Amanda didn't tell me that.
Oh. I'm just kidding. Amanda didn't say that. But she definitely knows I'm a blunt person.
Yeah. She didn't tell me that.
Oh, well, surprise.
No, I enjoy it. I enjoy your personality. If
nothing else, maybe today was the reason you start therapy.
Maybe.
Because of this bullying.
Maybe.
Once upon a time, I did ask one of your siblings if they could let me talk to your dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Because I was curious.
Oh.
It's long ago.
Did you really want to talk to him?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I was curious on how that conversation would go. But then I grew up.
Did you think it would just be interesting, or?
I think so, yeah. Because I didn't give a shit about what he had to say. And I didn't, think I was going to change his mind. I was just curious.
You just wanted to talk.
Yeah, basically. But then I grew up and got a life.
Well,
and realized I didn't have time or care.
Yeah, but did you want to do it? Did you think maybe he could give you some insight or something?
No. Well, I didn't want to take any of his advice.
Just wanted to give him some?
I think I just wanted to see how the fuck his mind worked. Because it didn't seem like it was. I don't think I've ever said that, publicly.
Yeah. Dad, you want to talk to Dad, huh?
Yeah, once upon a time. A long time ago.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind talking to him, but
what would you say?
He won't talk to me, so.
What would you say to him?
I'll just ask him a bunch of questions.
About, what the fuck he was thinking?
Yeah.
Do you think that would help you? If anything?
Yeah.
Like what?
I think I could get a little bit more peace with how his mind works. I think if you give me 3 days with my dad, I think I can determine to what level he was intentionally harmful to people. Not that the unintentional stuff was good at all.
Yeah.
It's just I would like to determine that.
Well, I think at a point, because I've thought that too.
Yeah.
But I think to a point, like, you have to know that you're hurting people.
You're saying he has to know?
Yeah, like to a point, he has to know he was hurting people.
Yeah.
And like when people came back and were like, "What the fuck?" He had to know he was hurting them, even if he didn't originally know.
Yeah.
Because at first, I felt like that for a long time. I was like, I want to understand why and how.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, even if I understood that, it's not going to change it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't really believe in good intentions so much. I think you have to just judge based on what you're doing. Like, how is it actually happening?
Well, because I think, like, when they'd say, like, go do this, go do that. And I got to a point where I'm like, okay, you guys can tell me that, but I'm the one who has to suffer the pain, if there's pain. Yeah. So I don't give a shit anymore if you guys think I should do this and you think this is the best option. Because at the end of the day, like, I'm the one who's going to have to suffer, so I'm going to be the one to decide if I want to suffer or not.
Yeah, and for some reason, people just love to keep that control over you. So it's like, fuck you.
Yeah. You're like, and on that note, it's over.
No, I just need the restroom.
Yeah, no, you're good. I think
I drink too much. I drink that thing of caffeine.
Is it going to make you have a panic attack?
No, not that. That's natural. More natural stuff, and it's just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks everybody. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment for Michelle Michaels. And do you need to shout out do you have like a social media or something you want people to follow you on, like TikTok or something?
Or you could do my Instagram.
Yeah, your Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to say it or so people know what it is? Yeah.
I know Amanda puts it in the thing.
Yeah, I can I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't go down to the chat. They just sit there and watch till the video's over. So we'll just tell them so that if they're sitting on their phone, scrolling Instagram while they're watching this, they can like follow you or something.
It's mmichaels_35.
Do you offer free insults over there? Or?
No, those are just for people I get to see in person. So you're just lucky. Dude,
you should set up a website that's like charges $1 for an insult.
I'm not mean to everybody. You're just lucky.
I know, okay. I like that kind of luck.
Yeah, just because your dad's not being mean to you anymore, so.
Yeah, oh, I see. I need it from somewhere.
Yeah, here you go. The Kingston's got you.
Okay. Okay, thanks everybody. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.